All right. I think we're on. It's another Get Ready With Me video. Watching Rotten Mango, part 2 of Diddy. Let's go.
Well, he also dates a lot of young girls. I think it's more so people's sentiment about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
Of
right,
like,
right.
I could see the connection is how netizens feel. But I couldn't find a lot of concrete, pieces of media connecting them. Then there's Kevin Hart. There are videos of Kevin Hart hosting parties for Diddy. One viral clip, there's a girl in a bathtub and she's clothed, like she has a bikini. And in the bathtub, her hair catches on fire
That
on
means
one
it's
of the
better.
nearby candles, which I think people were upset about. Because regardless of Kevin Hart's supposed friendship with Diddy, they write, notice how a woman's hair is literally on fire and instead of helping her, Kevin Hart moves away and asks if the camera caught that. What a moment to show blatant disregard for the lives and safety of individuals there.
Wait. This is what kind of context is the video?
Oh, he's just like, oh my God, we're at this crazy party at this house. And then her hair catches on fire on one of the candles. Asked if he saw baby oil at Diddy's parties when he hosted. So some are defending him, some think it's weird.
All right.
Then there's Paris Hilton. She was spotted at many a Diddy parties. And then there's Naomi Campbell.
That's where I
who
was.
was rumored to be on the Epstein flight logs as well.
Which is crazy.
She was rumored to have potentially been dating Diddy in 2001. They did a photo shoot together, but she shut it down, stating they're more like family. In 2018, Naomi has said about Diddy, I love his company, I love his demeanor, I love his love towards me, and I love our friendship. He's very private, but people who know him know he's loyal. He's been loyal to me for so many years. We've known each other for 20-something years and have been consistently the same. We really do have a brother-sister relationship, and I adore him. She actually threw him a big birthday party for his 54th birthday just 1 week before Cassie filed her lawsuit. And after Cassie filed her lawsuit, she deleted all posts of her and Diddy and has remained silent on the issue since then. Some netizens write, she's an iconic model, but she's always been a horrible person. This is an opinion. She has multiple assault charges over the years for attacking her staff, which there does seem to be a whole thing with that. And another writes, she's beautiful, but she's always been a huge red flag. She stole from a poverty relief foundation by spending it on luxury hotel rooms and spa treatments. Just how low can one go?
Wait, for real?
She has denied that she intentionally stole from a charity or used charity funds, but she has been barred from being on any sort of charity board or organization for a number of years in the United Kingdom because it is said that some of the charity, only 8% of the charity was being used for charity work. And a lot of the donations were somehow traced back to luxury hotel spa treatments.
That is
so
crazy.
People are saying, I'm not surprised because I personally, not me, Stephanie, but netizen, think she's not a good person. Which many netizens have supported their opinions by drawing connections, whether, again, it's rooted in fact or not, I wouldn't know, but her alleged close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein as well.
But wasn't that debunked?
Naomi Campbell has since denied that association. She said she has never even been alone with Jeffrey Epstein. She only knew him through her then boyfriend at the time. But people are very, very skeptical. Others have come to her defense. Some comments read, are we seriously going to indict everyone who's photographed with him? And all
That's
of
the
his
thing.
friends?
That's what I don't
Then
like.
there's Prince William and Prince Harry. Diddy has stated multiple times that he's wanted to invite them to parties. Some sources have alleged that he had this weird fascination with wanting to be close with them. His former publicist alleges that Diddy saw himself as a king, so he wanted to have the princes in his entourage, like little playthings on his side. He wanted to get close to the royals. Some netizens think, what better blackmail than blackmail on royals? So that's probably his train of thought, is what netizens think, is a theory. Regardless, the two brothers never accepted a party invitation from Diddy. That was what was said until the internet dug up these photos of them. Now, it made them look guilty, but they're not actually partying with Diddy. These were taken from a 2007 concert for Diana, where the princes invited a ton of artists to perform in honor for their late mother. Diddy performed I'll Be Missing You as part of the tribute.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like they went to Diddy's white parties, and it's alleged that Diddy constantly invited them. But again, he even allegedly offered to pay for their travel, stay, security expenses for the princes to come hang out with them. And they have consistently declined the invitations. One netizen comments, no way all of them knew. You guys are all too simplistic. You see them in a video together and you're ready to sentence people to death.
Exactly.
Then
That's why I have
Mary J.
issues with that.
Blige. the queen of R&B. The two of them have known each other since the 90s. She was signed at Uptown Records when Diddy started working there before starting Bad Boy Records. She cryptically took to Instagram to write, "This is after Diddy's homes were arrested. Unfortunately, a lot of you all met me when I lacked boundaries and I was a people pleaser. Let me reintroduce myself. I burn bridges as needed." Which felt like a statement against Diddy, but I don't know. But she has been spotted at many of his parties, and some netizens believe that she appears to be under the influence of substances at these parties.
And
she said, "I burn bridges as needed."
Going to party and doing drugs does not mean that you do freak off.
Some netizens have taken it as far to say she's working with the feds because she's known him for so long. But that is a crazy allegation to make that I'm not making, but I'm just saying. Then Ellen DeGeneres, who is, like I said, very flawed, very controversial in her own right. But in this case, netizens allege she was way too close with Diddy. She had tweeted previously, "Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs," or as I call him, Cuddle Mix Snuggle stuff. And you really don't need to know why. Which people are now saying, what did you mean by that? Some point to a fake relationship. They point to when Diddy was on Ellen's show and she asked, "So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?" He responds, "Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up to them." But others point out the rest of the interview, she starts asking him around what time the party starts. And Ellen states she expects them to start around midnight, to which he responds ominously, "No, that's a different type of party. And we'll have the top 2 floors of the hotel where it will carry on."
And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. I mean the after party.
No, I know about them.
Some netizens believe she might know about the parties, though she does not attend them personally. Which parties is she referencing? Then we have Meek Mill. Meek Mill has been named in the so-called Diddy list. Social media has focused on these few points. 1, Meek Mill has always seemingly been close friends with Diddy. And Gina, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, remember in the podcast, she stated that she was beaten by Diddy after a Meek Mill birthday party because she reached over and shook Meek Mill's hand.
Yes.
So it does seem like they are close friends. That's not me saying that Meek Mill had seen the violent behavior. She never alleged that, but I'm just saying. Now, it does seem like they are close friends. And 2, there are photos of them in matching outfits at a party. Could be a coincidence, could be besties. 3, there is a video of Meek Mill floating around in Diddy's pool sunbathing, and Diddy is recording him saying, "Damn, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you."
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Wait,
That is
what's
crazy.
going on? Meek Mill is swimming,
Yeah, and Diddy's all like, "Proud of you, daddy." And he's
recording him.
Yeah, and so I guess with the questions of Diddy's sexuality and Diddy calling Meek Mill daddy, and they have that close friendship, people think perhaps there's more. And lastly, there is a rumored audio clip going around claiming to be Meek Mill and Diddy engaging in sexual activities. It does not appear to actually be them in the clip. There are many allegations that it is AI manipulated to sound more like that.
That's the thing that I've seen
But
a
it
lot
did
of
make
AI
a lot of rounds
stuff.
on Twitter. Oh, and he was maybe listed in a lawsuit. Lil Rod, the producer, in his lawsuit against Diddy, alleges that Diddy had a physical relationship with, quote, "a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj." And there's really only, I can't think of anyone other than Meek Mill. Meek Mill has since responded to the allegations. Well, I guess the
Well,
rumors.
come on now. That's
And he says, "I want to hire an investigative team, 100K cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with this guy. Something's not right." He continues on Twitter, "The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about the business side. Somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got 100K for a thorough investigation of who's powering and how exactly my name is connected to this." He also states about how much he loves women, which felt a little bit odd to people. He takes to X, Twitter, and says, "When I got a girl around me, I'm f***ing her twice a day. Ask some of your favorites. Pussy don't control me, but it's like a high. One love to the gay people, but that juicy pussy do it for me, smiley face. I ran red lights to get that feeling. Y'all weird on here. Like devils, LOL."
you don't need to talk
One
like
netizen comment
that.
reads, "I too write long rambling screeds about how much I love women." Another reads, "My man doth protest too much," saying it's just the way he's
It's
so
like-
excitedly trying to give away money.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels like
It's
you're
a bit
overdoing it to the
performative.
point where people, netizens feel like, okay, now I'm actually curious.
Yeah.
Another reads, "This response has, I have a girlfriend, but she lives in Canada," kind of energy. Another
Exactly.
netizen comments, "Bro, all you have to say is, quote, 'No, I did not have sex with Diddy. You look guilty AF.'" which I think if he's not comfortable sharing his sexuality, which I'm not saying that's the case here, but if he's not, then I think this shouldn't even be a conversation.
Exactly.
But it seems like a lot of people are suspicious about him potentially being listed in Lil Rod's lawsuit. That's why.
I mean, that
Because
thing
Lil
about
Rod's lawsuit is
Nicki
basically,
Minaj is crazy.
it could be inferred that perhaps he was a potential viewer, witness to other things. Then we have Young Miami of City Girls. She and her cousin were listed in Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy. Young Miami was in a relationship with Diddy prior to his arrest. They attended the 2023 Met Gala together. Gene Deal, the former bodyguard, has stated the 3-star witnesses for the feds that he thinks will be the 3-star witnesses are going to be Cassie, Gina, the ex-girlfriend that I told you about in part 1, and Young Miami. Those 3.
Like they know the most?
That's kind of what he's inferring with that. Or at least that's what many people think. Some netizens think that Young Miami is also a victim of Diddy and has not come to the realization yet. Others think that she was complicit in what he was doing. Others think that she had no idea what was happening behind the scenes. In a very emotional podcast, Young Miami says, I can't speak on these allegations because I wasn't around at that time. I don't know that person, and that wasn't my experience. So she's saying, like, a lot of people were telling her, say something about Diddy when all the allegations came forward, but she didn't have that experience, and so she felt wrong to speak up and say something. But some people point to some controversial tweets that she's made against Gina. So her and Gina were also in a feud about Diddy, and she was saying things along the lines of, if Diddy wanted you to eat my private parts, you would be on your knees. Which some people say sound like freak-offs.
I see.
So it's just very messy. Young Miami was leaving a club in Atlanta when someone came up to her asking her to sign a baby oil bottle, which I think is very inappropriate. And
Come on,
unhinged
people.
behavior.
Come on,
because,
people.
I mean, at this point, we don't know if she was involved, if she was a victim herself. We don't know anything. And I think even if she had nothing to do with anything that Diddy is alleged of, it's still very disrespectful.
It's disgusting.
It's just bizarre. Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah.
There are a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding Jay-Z and Beyonce. It seems primarily stemming from the fact that netizens feel like they were too close to Diddy to not know what was going on. One of the most vocal figures against the couple has been a woman named Jaguar Wright.
Yeah.
But her segment from the Piers Morgan show, where she claims that the couple are, quote, nasty, and compare Jay-Z to Jeffrey Epstein, amongst a whole list of other things. I mean, these are very massive allegations, to the point where Piers Morgan had to remove the segment from the show and apologize to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Because this is crazy.
Now, we're just going to leave that part there. Usher has become a big part of the discourse, mainly because he wiped his whole Twitter feed, which everyone thought had to do with Diddy. And his response was a little strange. He says, account got hacked and damn, y'all ran with it. See you tonight at Intuit Dome. So I guess he was having a concert. People are not believing Usher, not even a little bit. They commented, you got hacked and the hackers decided to delete all your tweets instead of tweeting random stuff, which then had people going down the rabbit hole. Now, one of the main reasons Usher's name comes up in the conversation is from an interview he did talking about Puffy Flavor Camp. When Usher was 13 years old, his parents sent him to live and work with Diddy, who was 8 years older at the time, so 21. Usher told Rolling Stone about Puffy Flavor Camp that Diddy introduced him to a different set of experiences, saying, quote, specifically, there were always girls around and you would open a door and see somebody doing it or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen. Later on an episode of Howard Stern asked him, was it filled with like chicks and orgying like nonstop? No, not really, but hey, I was curious. I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle and I saw it, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. Howard Stern then asks, would you ever send your kids to Puffy Camp? Without hesitation, Usher responds, hell no.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Many netizens have just pointed out, how is it even possible and okay or even remotely acceptable for a 13-year-old boy to be sent to live in an environment like that? Another netizen comment reads, I don't think people need to speculate on any famous person's experience with Puffy without facts, evidence, and comments from said celebrity, but it does seem like a lot of people feel sympathetic for 13-year-old Usher.
Well,
That is where it connects to Justin Bieber.
Yep.
Usher has maintained a close I don't know if it's friendship. I don't know if it's a working relationship where it's just professional with Diddy for years now. Now, I do want to say that these celebrities, sometimes they have the business advantage to make their friendship appear stronger on camera. Because people always love celebrity friends. They love celebrity relationships and friends. But truly, there have been moments where you might see, even like in the influencer world, oh, we're best friends. And then off camera, you're like, I don't even think these two people know each other like that. It's very strange, right? They could have been just playing into it. I don't know. Now, Usher seems to be the link between Diddy and Justin Bieber. Young Justin Bieber signed with Diddy's longtime friend Usher, and that's how he met Diddy. I think that for one, it's pretty clear that Justin Bieber was victimized in the industry in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
He was forcibly kissed on the neck on stage in front of everyone when he was just, I believe, 18 years old at the time. Jenny McCarthy, the one who grabbed his butt and kissed him, was 40. He was 18, and he stated on stage that he felt violated. People laughed it off like it was a joke. He was 15, being interviewed and asked if he's already had the sex talk, to which he stated, I feel really uncomfortable right now. Why do you want to know if a 15-year-old had the sex talk? Like, why do you want to have a sex talk with a 15-year-old boy? He also stated in regards to Billie Eilish that he just wants to protect her. He doesn't want her to go through what he went through in the industry. He wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
If she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her, but I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
But he has never spoken up about who or exactly what has happened. And perhaps I'm biased, but he's just been in the public eye for so long. I think he deserves to be in peace with his family. Right now. For the sake of being thorough,
Leave
I
the
will
man
go briefly
alone.
through the things coming up on social media discourse,
God.
because some of them are not exactly as they seem on face value. Just to show you what's happening out there. So one, the main piece of evidence that people are bringing up is 15-year-old Justin Bieber posted a video called, this was posted 14 years ago. It was called 48 Hours with Diddy. In the video, Diddy states, they're having the time of our lives, where we hang out, what we're doing, we can't really disclose. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. He's signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I don't really have legal guardianship over him, aka Justin Bieber. But for the next 48 hours, he's with me, and we're going crazy.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go and get some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, shit.
The video does exist. However, it has just been stated that Justin never spent more than a few hours that day with Diddy while he was there. That the whole clip was just like a skit, if you will. That he was at a Levi's event right after this. He had a fully booked schedule that night. Even Gene, the former bodyguard, said, oh yeah, he was just there for like a few hours. Also, his stylist was there, so it wasn't unsupervised. Because people have taken that and ran with it. Like, what happened in that 48 hours? He definitely victimized Justin Bieber in that 48 hours. This was probably his first instance of a freak off. Like, there's so many crazy comments out there about this video. Now, I'm not saying, like, this is not me excusing anything Diddy ever said or did, or saying the allegations against him aren't true. It just seems like this one is kind of taken out of context. One comment reads, you guys need to stop claiming Justin is a victim of Diddy with no solid proof at all. There are real life victims who have come forward. Tweet about their story for awareness and stop using Justin's name for likes and no proof of what you're saying. 2, there's a clip of Diddy and Justin on Jimmy Kimmel Live where they talk about hanging out, where Diddy warns Justin. Now, Justin knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Everything ain't for everybody. I will say it is a weird statement.
It is.
3, in a video, Diddy is asking why Justin Bieber hasn't been in contact after he's selling out arenas, to which Justin responds that he knows Diddy has been trying to get in contact and offers to give Diddy his number and gives him the number 555-555-5555. Beyond the creepiness of Diddy in the clip, it has been pointed out by Justin's fans that it indicates that Justin hasn't been in contact with Diddy, which again, I'm not here to say that Justin was or was not victimized by Diddy, but a lot of Justin's fans are saying the conspiracies pertaining to him and Diddy has spiraled out of control. Like, things are just getting weird. And then people are pointing to the fact that Justin Bieber was seen at Diddy parties. But again, all of Hollywood was at these parties.
Exactly.
4, there's another clip where netizens have said it appears that Diddy is feeling to see if Justin Bieber is wearing a wire. He's tapping his chest, which is typically where a wire would be if the feds are trying to listen to you. But again, these are people's speculations and intentions and feelings in a video we don't know. But some fans of Justin Bieber's have pointed out that They're bowing their heads and they're whispering to each other. A lot of netizens have taken that and said, oh, I audio amplified it. And Diddy said something like along the lines of, I own your ass, or all these crazy things. But allegedly, Justin Bieber had posted this video himself with a caption about religion and stated that they were praying. And 5, a big conversation is set around the Yummy music video that was released in 2020. According to many sources, Justin Bieber's potential self-promotion of the song Yummy was notably aggressive and extensive compared to his other songs that he's released, and in conjunction with some of the music video elements, they think it's very strange.
Why?
He released several videos of Yummy, including animated versions, fan reactions, which he actually reposted promotionals on guides on how to stream the song, how to fall asleep while playing it in the background via Spotify.
Okay.
A lot of people at the time thought it was weird because he's already rich. It's not like his career is dying off. He's Justin Bieber. What's with this bizarre, aggressive marketing approach? It just felt strange. But probably the most notable part of the promotion of the song Yummy was he posted on Instagram a collage of babies and just wrote #Yummy as a caption, which everybody has a strong response to 5 years ago. The nicer comments read, looks like he's trying to promote his new song Yummy in an odd way, probably not realizing how the song title would look under pictures of babies.
Yeah.
Others said he and his marketing team probably knows how it looks, which is why they did it, so people would start talking about it. Others commented at the time, he's posting pics of random babies and hashtagging it #Yummy. It's gross. Am I too sensitive? That's gross, right? The song is literally about sex. Which, side note, when the song came out, a lot of these news publications have stated that it was written about his wife, Hailey Bieber, and allegedly Justin Bieber stated that himself. When the music video was first released, from what I can tell and remember, there were a small group of people, Justin's fans, primarily who believed there was a way deeper message in the video, even in 2020 when it came out. So for a few reasons, the video premise they thought was odd. It did not feel like an ode to his wife. And 2, there were clips of Justin Bieber breaking down on the set of filming Yummy. He was allegedly having anxiety attacks during the filming of it. He stated that he was, quote, in his head a lot during the filming and was just having an off day, which then led to people pulling it apart. They believe there's Easter eggs in the video. And I'm not saying these are not Easter eggs that mean something deeper. I'm not saying they are. I'm telling you this is the internet discourse. I will say all the other stuff with Justin Bieber, I don't think it's the best time or place to associate with him with Diddy when he himself has not spoken out against it and said anything related to the case. And there are other victims who have stated, I am a victim of Diddy and this is what happened to me. And to not let them have that space to be heard and to feel safe online is kind of interesting that people are doing that. But this music video, there are very interesting elements and aspects. So this is the main part I think a lot of netizens are pulling to. I've compiled to include a few of the details. So there are a lot of, quote, Easter eggs to break down in the song, whether it's just creative expression that Justin Bieber had nothing to do with, or he was the one that worked on it. We will not know until he says so. But these are the elements. The music video concept for Yummy appears to be a party for older, wealthy people, just based on their attire, based on their age, according to the video. Justin arrives in a pink hoodie. He finds himself walking through the kitchen to get to this large banquet hall where it looks like some sort of colorful wedding. You know, there's large tables of well-dressed individuals sitting around being posh. They're almost dressed over the top to seem very glamorous. There's a full orchestra up front playing cellos, violins. Some netizens have stated that they feel that even him walking through the kitchen is symbolism. He's not walking in through the front door. He is like a dish being served from the kitchen. Right when he enters the party, to his right is a young girl wearing a red bodysuit. Netizens have said this feels very significant. Just keep in mind, this red bodysuit is going to come up again, but there is a young girl who appears to be a minor wearing a red sparkly bodysuit playing the violin. Justin sits down at a table, and netizens have pointed out that everyone nearby is much older than him. They appear middle-aged. Everybody's already eating. He gets served this very interesting dish, which people have really dissected. It's a few pieces of bread with a cherry on top, and then another bread propped up against the other slices, so it looks almost like a shield for the cherry. For the first bit, it appears Justin Bieber is, to a degree, enjoying himself. Other netizens have pointed out there seems to be a point made with he keeps doing cheers and lifting up a tall glass of water with a lemon wedge in there. Like when he has that pile of bread in front of him, he toasts with the glass of water, and netizens state that the whole party atmosphere shifts when the food gets served, and it's all this unappetizing food. It's really gross looking food. You know those weird jello cakes with vegetables? Looks like jello mounds with just peas, green peas inside. There's rings of uncooked, like barely cooked, unseasoned shrimps around it, uncooked anchovy shrimps on top. It's nothing you would enjoy eating. But everyone at the table is served this disgusting food, and the only thing sitting in front of Justin Bieber now is not the food, is just a glass of pink liquid. So now people are connecting the drugging that was done at parties, or the alleged drugging that was done at parties, to this music video. Again, I don't know if this is a warranted connection. I'm just telling you these are what netizens are pointing out. The others on the table have different glasses of martinis. So all these middle-aged people that are enjoying this unappetizing food, they have martini glasses, wine glasses. But another young man, also dressed in pink, does not appear to be a minor, but young, seems to be miserable as well, and there he has a glass of pink liquid next to the food that he's picking at. Now, side note, there's peas everywhere. There's a strong presence of green peas in the video. A lot of people think it could either mean P for pedophiles or P for P. Diddy. I don't know.
This is so silly. Come on.
Justin's sandwich is turned around to expose the cherry now, but people say it appears to be rotten now. The women, eventually, in the middle of the music video, women start coming out from under the table, and they're all younger women now, and they're all dressed in elements of white, which people have pointed out. The music video then switches the lighting from the overhead lighting, if you will, to the black light. So it almost feels like the party is starting. And what goes from regular lighting, everybody's wearing these bright colors, black light turns on, and the white becomes sharper, and people think it looks like a white party because everything looked kind of white in black light. Also, some netizens have pointed out that the girls that come out from under the table, they're like the only young ones. There's a lot of older women in the area, and then there's like the young girls performing with the musical instruments, and then these young girls come out later. Then abruptly, the party is over, and it's just Justin and a few people left to clean up the mess or deal with the after effects, is what some netizens say. He's alone at his table now. There is a red sparkly suit draped over the chair next to him, and that was the outfit the young girl in the beginning had likely been wearing. And it appears that she was a minor, so, you know, the connotation, if this is what the creative aspect is. At the end, there is an empty plate. The plate has a picture of younger Justin on there with the word yummy written underneath. A lot of netizens have said, quote, also if you sing it a certain way, it sounds like he's saying young me instead of yummy, and the lyrics make so much more sense. Some netizens have stated using pictures of himself when he was younger is a full circle moment to point back to the true meaning of the song. Some comment under the video, he is such a genius, the way he wrote it all, the symbolism, and his whole attitude while filming seems to have some sarcastic, angry tone to it. I hope he finds healing.
I do hope he finds healing from whatever the fuck, but I think that people are like over-analyzing shit.
It's not that deep, guys. There are 100 other meanings it could have been than what everyone is insinuating. Or you guys are really reaching. Or it's entirely possible that Justin was a victim, but not by some secret high-level pedo group in the entertainment industry or whatever. To which netizens have very intense reactions stating, what do you think this song is about then? Being served bad food at a party? I try to reserve personal opinions, right?
I think that people are honestly just overanalyzing shit.
It could be nothing. It could be just a general overview on the entertainment industry. In general, we don't know. I'm just trying to reserve personal opinions because, I mean, who am I and what do I know, right? These are the main points that I've seen people bring up, but there are a lot of other people that are just doing some really unhinged things. And I think this is where it becomes really damaging and unproductive. There are people generating AI pictures of Justin Bieber and Diddy in compromising positions for shock value. There are people memeing the situation. So when I was on Twitter and I was researching just to get netizen sentiment of even just the yummy music video, when you have people that are trying, I think in good faith, trying to depict the music video and see if there's something there that actually means something. I don't think that they do this with intent to harm anyone's feelings, but under them, in the comments, there's like these very memes of Justin Bieber and Diddy. They are alleging that Justin's talking to the feds because he's in the tapes which is a crazy accusation. Just so many conspiracies that I just don't think are productive. I think Justin can be a victim of the industry in some way, shape, or form. I think Diddy could have been a predator in the industry in some way, shape, or form, but it does not mean that Justin was a victim of Diddy's. And if he was, it's up to him to say that he was or not. If he wasn't, then the focus has gone from the actual alleged victims of Diddy to celebrity gossip.
Yep.
Regardless, in this situation, I think the conspiracy theories are doing just way more harm than good. Like, for example, there was a song circulating, which sounds very similar to Justin Bieber
I
in
heard
the
that
musical
song.
style of Justin's previous songs. But the voice singing it says, "Lost myself at a Diddy party. Didn't know that's how it go. I was in it for a new Ferrari, but it cost me way more than my soul. Wasn't worth all the fortune and fame." It was circulating around social media with clips of Justin Bieber and Diddy as almost, see, he's been telling us. The comments under a YouTube video posting of that song read, "That explains why he's been struggling mentally for all these years. This explains everything." It's AI. Like, more than likely AI. CBS News ran the song through multiple AI audio detection tools. Several results indicate that the audio, or at least parts of it, are AI generated.
Wow.
Then there's the massive amount of AI generated thumbnails that I came across during the research. AI generated pictures on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube showing Justin Bieber and Diddy in weird positions. It's just really a lot. I don't think I've seen as many AI generated media circulating a case since this. One think piece about the conspiracies about Diddy's case says, the discourse has lost the plot.
Yes.
The AI parodies and the tenuously evidenced theories only make it harder for people to know what to believe when victims need moral clarity and support. There have been some other conspiracies that have been swirling, which I'm going to go over super, super briefly. Just to clarify, this is not me stating that this is true or false. All I can state is I don't know if this is the best time or place to have these conversations without authorities verifying anything when there are actual alleged victims that are coming forward with stories that they feel need to be shared.
I think like even when you just, whatever you said so far, at least for me, now I kind of know what's conspiracy and what's AI. Like otherwise I would never know this.
And
you know,
even when I was researching, the amount of anxiety, because people just be posting whatever, saying it's fact. And I'm like, okay, I had to cross-reference, try to fact-check as much as I could, but certain things, like I could only fact-check through like Justin Bieber's fan accounts that have been around for a decade, because it's like, the mainstream media isn't writing about this a decade ago because it wasn't news back then, right? So it's very hard to try and find what is real, what is not, and it is kind of scary about the whole AI aspect.
Yep.
But there are some conspiracies online. Like I said, I think it's just not the most productive right now that Diddy might be connected to more deaths in Hollywood. One conspiracy theory alleges that Diddy had something to do with Aaron Carter's death. A viral tweet alleges that Aaron Carter was among Diddy's list of victims, and that in 2022, Aaron Carter allegedly had plans to speak up about Diddy and his parties, soon after he passed away. For those unfamiliar, Aaron Carter was a child star on Nickelodeon. His first debut album for music was released when he was 9. He passed in 2022. He was found in his bathtub. The cause of death was the effects of drugs found in his system, which led to him drowning in the tub. The theory is that Aaron Carter, quote, this is a comment, Aaron Carter was killed right before he was about to expose what happened at P. Diddy's trafficking parties, where he was a childhood victim of drug abuse. And Aaron Carter released albums under Sony Music Group Entertainment, which is a parent company for Diddy's Bad Boy Records. Some netizens have pointed to Aaron Carter's last tweet saying, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man." But others state, well, Aaron Carter has publicly criticized Kanye West about his public behavior and the family drama that has been happening with Kanye West and his family. One netizen comment reads, "There's a lot of conspiracy bullshit on X and TikTok. Don't believe everything you hear. Aaron had his own demons. I don't think he was ever part of the Diddy clique, but people seemingly now want to include every celebrity that ever took a picture with Diddy, which is just dumb." And then there's, of course, other allegations that he was involved in other celebrities, passings, recent, past, present. It's a lot. I think that some netizens feel very frustrated because it feels like the victims who have actually, the alleged victims, that have actually filed lawsuits against Diddy. And these lawsuits, many of them are publicly available online. It feels like their stories don't deserve to be heard and don't deserve attention because these celebrity conspiracies are more interesting.
Yep.
We have covered most of those lawsuits throughout the span of these 4 episodes. So now let's cover the artists that do not like working with Diddy, allegedly. Dawn Richards, who is also suing Diddy, she's more part of the work aspect. A lot of her lawsuit is detailing the work relationship that they had and the alleged unpaid wages, unfair treatment. So let's cover all of those next, because I think a lot of the sexual allegations have been covered. Drake is somebody that has a long history with Diddy. Drake posted a scene from a movie, The Big Short, where Ryan Gosling's character says, "I never hung out with these idiots after work, ever. I had fashion friends." Many netizens believe that's him saying that maybe he hung out with Diddy at work, but he never hung out with him after work. Because technically they have bumped into each other a lot at the same events.
They're both
but
huge
it does not
musicians.
appear that they are close. Which, interestingly enough, it seems like Diddy and Drake actually never liked each other. In 2018, they allegedly got into a fight outside of the Live nightclub in Miami Beach. Apparently the two were having conversations about getting on a song together, but allegedly Drake bought the rights, released the song without Diddy's quote-unquote permission, which angered him, allegedly. The song is 0 to 100. Diddy felt like that was his song. I don't know. Sources allege that Diddy went up to Drake at DJ Khaled's birthday party in Miami, said, "You will never disrespect me." And some sources describe it as physical altercation. Some sources say Diddy punched Drake. Some sources say Diddy slapped Drake. Diddy denies all allegations of the physical altercation, but either way, I don't think the two like each other. Diddy also allegedly does not like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole, because Kendrick Lamar said that he was the king of New York. And Diddy took offense to that, allegedly, and got into a huge
Jay-Z
fight
said
with
the
J.
same
Cole
shit?
because J. Cole was trying to stand up. It was a whole thing.
Wow.
So there are artists that don't like him, and especially from Diddy's own artists that were previously signed with Bad Boy Records. It seems like majority of them don't like him, from what I can tell on just the internet.
that I've heard for
Former
years.
Bad Boy artists claim that he would either force himself as a producer or songwriter on songs that he didn't even work on, just muscle his way into getting into those credits so he could get streaming rights, royalties, or force himself to get a few lines in each song so that he could charge his own artists a massive special guest appearance fee for himself, allegedly.
Wow.
Mark Curry, a former artist, claims the guy is just weird in general. He shares a story of how insecure Diddy is. These are his stories. Again, I can't vouch if they're true or not, but he claims that Diddy hated when girls didn't like him and preferred the artist on his label.
Prefer the artist?
Yeah, like when girls, because, Mark Curry was stating that he doesn't have as much money as Diddy. He doesn't have power like Diddy. He's not a household name like Diddy,
Yeah.
But sometimes girls just like him more than they like Diddy.
Diddy said, "How dare you?"
He alleged that Diddy seemed to be the type of person that felt like he's the one that has the money. He's the one that worked hard. He's the one with the fancy suits, the fast cars. These artists are up and coming. They don't have it like he does, and the girls still like them. It feels like an insecurity complex if this is true. I don't know. He allegedly hated it to the point where he almost spat on a girl. Allegedly, a girl liked Mark Curry over him, to which the girl allegedly responded, wait, Diddy, calm down. I have a twin sister. But honestly, she won't like you either.
Whoa.
And Mark Curry said that is when he got really, really mad, and he thought something was going to go down. So he took that girl out of the situation, was like, we got to go, let's go. Again, I don't know if this is true, but it's very, very weird. Diddy even responded to the artists who hate him on The Breakfast Club. He says, "There has been negative propaganda put out about me. It's just really strained and tried to stain my legacy. My name is Diddy Sean Combs. I never took nothing from nobody a day in my life. All I've ever given is opportunity and more money than a person was making." One netizen comment reads, "When every artist on the Bad Boy label is left broke or owing money while the label made millions, it's hard to believe that they're all lying on Diddy."
Exactly.
Diddy was on the Graham Norton show a few days before Cassie's lawsuit dropped in 2023, and he's going on this whole spiel about his name change. Netizens think the interview is fascinating in hindsight. Graham Norton asks him if they should call him Love then, to which he responds, "This is the ultimate goal. I have become Love."
And it's love versus hate. And I choose love. That's my new name, and love wins. Love wins. Let's go.
Netizens write about the interview. The amount of affirmation he gets when he looks around at them and they all give him exaggerated head nods, it just shows how much power he feels when he walks into every room every single day. Nothing but yes men all around him.
He's just so corny.
Yeah, another netizen comments, "There's a lot of toxicity in the world right now." The nerve to say that. Another one reads, "Love wins, the judge." Are you sure about that? Diddy says in another podcast interview about his decision to give artists their publishing rights back. He says, because he said all the bad boy artists, they're going to get their publishing rights back. He said it was more of me just evolving as a businessman, you know, a person that really wants to change in the world. Once you start asking for change in this world, you have to look within and be part of that change. It was evolving as a businessman and just changing. It's the right thing to do. It's the love frequency. He continues, if you have a chance to do the right thing, why wouldn't you want to do the right thing? I want to be that change that I want. I have to be responsible and accountable for myself. I'm just moving in God's purpose. You get to a point in your life where you pick purpose over profit. Mark Curry, a former artist of Diddy, said about the whole publishing rights thing, what's it even worth now? You ever had somebody owe you $50? When you needed it back, they didn't pay you. Then by the time that they do pay you, that $50 doesn't mean the same as it did when you needed it.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. I wanted it when it was making money, not after all it's gone. What am I going to do with that? In fact, it's an insult. It's like getting a Nissan. Like, you are owed a Nissan 15 years ago when it's brand new. It has value. But now he wants to give you the Nissan 15 years later after he already drove it around, took the value. Like, that's, what do you mean? Some artists said getting their publishing rights back, that would be like $300 a month. And it's not even free, if you will.
Yeah.
Diddy was going to allegedly make all the artists sign an NDA to never speak about him, his mother, or like any of his family members ever. Mark Curry says, there are different ways you can kill a person. I've noticed Diddy kill a lot of people's spirits. Another former artist under Diddy went off on an Instagram video. It's been a while since he's worked with Diddy. In fact, he's 52 years old now, but he says, like, this guy Puffy is the main motherfucking reason I fucking hate life, dog. People don't even understand. Like, I don't even give a I've never been to a point where I thought of self-exit my whole life. Never. I mean, I'm a gangster. I don't know how I started thinking like that. I'd done it all and fell to the bottom. Like, how do you come back from that when you're battling a giant? It has nothing to do with your skill no more, because your skill is 90% better than any other guy that's out there right now, and the world knows it, but it ain't your skill. The world is built on relationships. Another person said, oh yeah, why haven't the artists spoken up now? Or like, why are they now speaking up and why didn't they say something before? Have you ever went up against a billionaire?
Exactly.
Which, side note, Diddy actually responded to these Instagram posts in 2022 by posting on his Instagram story a black screen with white words. Stop all your crying and moaning. Hustle harder or get the fuck out of our way. The producer Rodney Jones, the one that is suing Diddy, says, he is a monster. Nothing has changed. This guy has no soul, no duty to anyone, not even his own kids. Mace, another artist that was formerly under Bad Boy, he was actually one of the biggest stars on Diddy's label in the 90s. He said, your past business practices knowingly has continued purposefully starving your artists and have been extremely unfair to the very same artists that helped you obtain that Icon Award. He also points to the irony that Diddy is publicly calling out the Grammys for not showing enough deserved appreciation for black artists, which very, very valid, right?
Valid.
But at the same time, Mace, a black artist himself, is saying, you're also screwing over black artists, Diddy. He's saying about Diddy's business practices, that is not black excellence at all. Mark Curry says it's also pretty obvious that Diddy is what he's trying to do here, like the timing of it right before Cassie's lawsuit. He says, quote, because I think he had some kind of idea that this was coming down the pipeline, tried to cover up his tracks real quick, and it didn't work. Because he publicly announces that he's giving back publishing rights September 2023. Cassie's lawsuit filed November 2023, just a few months later. And yeah, these former employees are not happy. One former employee said, working with Diddy is you have to be ready to catch a brick. And everyone's like, a what? They said it's like if you're walking down the street and someone randomly throws a brick at your head out of nowhere, out of the blue. If he was unhappy with something, you might not have done it, but he thought you did it, you're going to get a brick to the head. Figuratively, metaphorically, right? One time I was surrounded by security guards. He's 6 inches from my face, screaming at me, telling me I f***ed up. That's what I learned what a brick is. I caught my first brick. It was my only brick. One source describes to Rolling Stone, Diddy is, quote, a complicated man with opposing personas. Outwardly, he's this tastemaker who's unapologetically driven, generous, and jovial, even silly at times. He can be the same privately, but if you get close enough, you discover something a lot darker. It's like he has this insatiable need. He's desperate to be accepted and admired, but that desperation can be violent. He publicly declares devotion, makes big donations publicly, and tells everyone to call him Brother Love, which seems to be his attempt at hiding his alleged abuse and violence. Another said, working with Diddy was like working on Game of Thrones. Not the set, but the actual fantasy world. Everyone is walking on eggshells with a unhinged leader, throwing each other under the bus to get closer to the one on the throne. Dawn Richards, a former Danity Kane member, has filed a lawsuit against Diddy. This was a girl group that Diddy was managing. Some of the allegations from the lawsuit read,
They could have been so
Mr.
big.
Combs has arranged for dozens of young women and girls, some of whom appear to be underage, to be transported to the party. The women arrived wearing little to no clothing and were given drugs and alcohol. Many of them appeared lethargic or passed out while Mr. Combs and his guests performed sexual acts on them. Mr. Combs repeatedly said things like, quote, "This is a buffet. Enjoy yourselves. This is what we do. This is how we party." Further in the lawsuit, it states, in a state of panic and terror, Ms. Richards fled to the bedroom Mr. Combs had insisted she stay in and barricaded the door shut with furniture. She also states Mr. Combs criticized Ms. Richards for being too skinny, yet declined her request for food and demanded that she only drink peanut butter shakes. Mr. Combs had full meals prepared by a chef and ate them in front of Ms. Richards, never offering her food. Dawn also alleges that at the auditions, he just went around calling young women, allegedly, fat, ugly bitches and hoes.
Okay.
Aubrey O'Day, another artist signed under Diddy,
Aubrey.
who also was on Danity Kane, working there. She said about working with him, "We were scared to death with what would just happen with Puff each day. There was just no room for error. Diddy was one of the most intense people you could ever work with. I experienced everything from race remarks to sexism, and a lot of it was scary." She says about being fired, which, side note, she was fired from the band that she was part of on national television. Danity Kane is the girl group that was formed through Diddy's reality TV show called Making the Band 4 in 2008 on MTV. She gets fired on camera. She says, "I was so young and so many things were put on me. I was fired on national TV for being overly raunchy and promiscuous." That's actually like wrongful termination. That's a lawsuit against a lot of people. She states, I have such a love-hate with it all because I don't think that I would have been able to be so successful in so many other areas had I not been trained under Diddy. He was the hardest person you can work for. It was torture, and not the work part of it, but the other stuff, mind games. There was a lot of betrayal. There was a lot of lies. Diddy would be like, "You're not hot anymore. Like, what happened? You don't have any curves. I can't get people to think you're this really good-looking person." Back then, there was no Me Too. You signed a million NDAs and a million contracts that took away your rights. The answer to what happens if you don't want to do what the executive wants, I'm the full-blown story of that. She says Diddy plays one of the dirtiest games there is around. She also alleges on another podcast that Diddy would say about people, presumably in a professional setting, "Oh, you're not f***able. You look like I could f*** you right now. You look like I can't f*** you." Like, it's just very, how can you say that in a workplace setting? And then about getting the publishing rights back, Aubrey O'Day states she did not agree to it because she was allegedly required to sign a crazy non-disclosure agreement in exchange, that she would never disparage Diddy or the Bad Boy label. Which, one thing to note, like I've said repeatedly through these episodes, all these are allegations and other people's stories. In the eyes of the law, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But I will say, with all the stories coming out against Diddy, I don't know how it's going to play out in the court of law, but maybe he's not the best person to be around.
I think that
Diddy has
those
since applied for
NDAs.
bail to be able to prepare for the trial in the comfort of his own $50 million mansion. In the letter to the judge, the defense attorneys write, "The first thing the court should know is that when it became apparent to the counsel that Mr. Combs would at some point soon be formally charged, he did something extraordinary. He left his home in Miami and traveled to New York, the very location of the prosecutors and agents investigating him."
What?
I love how extraordinary feels like the bare minimum. Like turning yourself in or not running from the law versus, I don't know, what would be ordinary. Regardless, the defense proposes a $50 million bail package. It would be secured by his $48 million Miami mansion that he has fully paid off, as well as his mother's mansion in Miami. He is willing to be on house arrest, home detention, if you will. He's willing to wear a GPS monitor, have no contact with women, submit a weekly drug test, and restrict his travel just between Miami and New York City to attend court, meet with his counsel, and attend medical appointments. The passports, it is said on many a media that the passports for all his family members have been surrendered to his attorneys, which interestingly enough does not include his sons. So I just think it's weird.
Really?
Yeah, according to what was filed with the judge, it's Diddy's passport, his mom's, and his 4 daughters.
That is crazy.
Again, I think it's weird.
It is
Because
weird.
Justin Combs and Christian Combs were actually listed in other lawsuits. The girls are, like, one of them just turned 18. The girls are minors.
Yeah.
Like they're
Wow.
largely like the biggest,
Yeah.
one of the bigger victims that have direct ties to Diddy, you know?
Yeah.
It's just very bizarre. A lot of mainstream media is just like the children's passports have been taken. But
Wow.
So
they
what?
also state that Diddy is making efforts to sell his private plane and that he will hire his own private security detail to guard him, which I don't know what that even means when they're also alleging that maybe the guns, the defaced AR-15s, were private security that left it at his house. He will not have access to the phone or the internet and will only be visited by a pre-approved list of guests. There are paragraphs that go on and on to list all of Diddy's charitable contributions in the past, which, sure, yes, great, but also he's facing a sex trafficking charge. He's
Yeah.
not facing a greedy billionaire charge. You know, the attorneys
Yeah.
also later state there's 30 million reasons for this to be depicted as a one-sided thing, one for each dollar that he's being sued. The bail proposal is aggressive, and it likely has to do with Diddy's conditions in jail. A supposed insider for the jail stated, "There's no doubt Diddy will be like Ghislaine. He's going to be a target inside. His lawyers will be doing all they can to get him out. It's a monumental fall from grace." Also because, you know, if you listen to episode 3, there's a lot of the long-standing passionate opinions about Tupac and Biggie's death, which there might be people that are associated with said groups of gangs in LA that might have found themselves in federal prison in New York.
Mm-hmm.
One day he's living like a millionaire and now he's in hell on earth, is what people say. Allegedly, Diddy once said that he never wears the same clothes twice, which would be very difficult to do in prison. Diddy's attorneys have stated that the food is inedible, from what I've been told. It's violent. Someone like Mr. Combs might be a target for certain things, and we can't let that happen. One comment reads, "That's not even the worst part. The worst part is, this dude is dealing with all this stuff while suddenly going cold turkey from every upper and downer and pink and purple and white pill and powder you can think of. Not only that, he's suddenly going cold turkey on whatever he smoked and whatever he drank. Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
It's going to be a very sobering moment for him, which many netizens agree that he most likely deserves every ounce of suffering for that hotel beating video alone. We're not saying that he's guilty of all the other allegations. We're just saying, yeah, well, that video told us all we need to know about sympathy or no sympathy of him being in prison.
Exactly.
Side note, in a Vogue segment when Diddy was getting ready for the 2023 Met Gala, he said he has one of the most extensive male beauty routines in the world. First, he gets in the sauna for an hour, then he gets into an ice bath, and they have this new ice cupping therapy, and then he takes a sip of De Leon tequila, and then he hits the red carpet, and he's ready to shine and spread love. One inmate says, "Yeah, no, you're not getting any of that. In fact, there might be mold in food. The food's going to be cold. People are going to try to tamper with your food. There might be mold." The prosecutors don't care. They essentially said, womp womp. They state in their letter to the judge that Diddy should not be released on bail. They also reference the Epstein case, R. Kelly's case, Keith Raniere's case, the NXIVM cult leader, as well as Lawrence Ray, the college cult leader that we did 2 episodes on. As reference, they quote, "Sex trafficking defendants, regardless of the age of their victims, are routinely detained pretrial, especially when they have engaged in repeated obstructive conduct. Additionally, they questioned the fact that Diddy should be able to use his wealth to set up a proposed bail package, because all of this is just because he's a billionaire. Well, was a billionaire. Because if he was Joe from down the block, he would not be able to propose a bail package like this for the trafficking charge. Moreover, they state, simply put, he's a serial abuser and a serial obstructor. They also state that shortly after another lawsuit was filed against him in November of 2023, this is before his arrest, according to prosecutors, Diddy reached out to a victim of alleged SA, to try and ask for her, quote, support and friendship. The prosecutors state, in those calls, he attempts to convince the victim that she willingly engaged in acts constituting sexual abuse. Allegedly, days after Cassie filed her lawsuit, Diddy allegedly called an unnamed victim that he was financially supporting. And that woman texted Diddy back later, allegedly stating that reading Cassie's lawsuit felt, quote, "I was reading my own sexual trauma. It makes me sick how 3 solid pages, word for word, is exactly my experiences and my anguish."
Wow.
But according to prosecutors, Diddy continued to allegedly gaslight the woman, trying to convince her that she remembers incorrectly, and she in fact did want those things to happen, that she essentially consented to it all. The court papers claim that Diddy told the victim, if she continues to be on his side and provide support and friendship, that she doesn't have to worry about anything else, which is a thinly veiled reference to continuing that financial support. Diddy and his attorneys have denied. Diddy's attorneys state that the phone calls were not to intimidate anyone. It was just he was calling potential witnesses to let them know that his attorneys wanted to speak with them.
Oh,
They
please.
also state that this behavior was, quote, the furthest thing from witness obstruction I can think of. I don't know if that would ring true for me. Ultimately, the judge has denied the request for bail twice, 2 separate judges. The judge said, "My concern is that this is a crime that happens behind closed doors. I don't know that you can control yourself. There are simply no conditions that would ensure that the defendant's efforts to obstruct and tamper with witnesses will stop. In sum, the defendant's long history of violent conduct makes clear that even the most stringent bail conditions will not suffice to ensure the safety of the community." He will likely have to stay in prison or jail until his trial. And as for the dozens of lawsuits filed against him, it's likely that Diddy will not face those civil lawsuits before his criminal trial is concluded. For example, Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Danny Masterson, they all filed motions to delay their civil litigation by their accusers while they're being tried in the criminal court system. Which, of course, if he's convicted in the criminal case, that would obviously be very helpful to the plaintiffs. According to one lawyer who repped Cosby victims, he said, "You want a convicted felon sitting at the defense table across from you." But many say, even from behind bars, the man is terrifying. One insider source told media outlets, "He's so powerful, everyone was afraid to cross him. Even though he's behind bars now, he's still powerful."
Yes!
He's incredibly smart, he knows a lot of people, and he's helped a lot of people. So a lot of people owe him, and he knows that.
Bruh.
He's capable of a lot, much more than people think even now. Another
I believe
ex-employee
it.
says, "He's someone you don't want to make an enemy of. When people do go against him, that person gets ostracized." It is stated
I
that Diddy's
believe it.
attorneys are planning to file a new petition for pretrial release. They state there is, quote, new information that has come to light, but they don't specify. One of the attorneys representing a victim said, "They're not going to get scared because, quote, courage is contagious." Diddy's mom finally made a statement. It reads, "I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son, Sean Combs. It's heartbreaking to see my son judged not for truth, but for a narrative created out of lies, to bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words. Like every human being, my son deserves to have his day in court, to finally share his side and to prove his innocence." Which is kind of a hard statement to digest when you consider there is video footage of him being incredibly violent with Cassie, to which his mom states, "I am not here to portray my son as perfect, because he is not. He has made mistakes in his past, as we all have. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying that he has ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend when the hotel surveillance showed otherwise. Sometimes the truth and a lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when it's outside the norm or too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son, interpreting it as an admission of guilt. It is important to recognize that none of us, regardless of our status, are immune to fear or mistakes. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty of the repulsive allegations and the grave charges against him. These lies thrown at him are motivated by those seeking a financial gain and not justice. These individuals saw how quickly my son's civil legal team settled his ex-girlfriend's lawsuit, so they believed that they could receive a quick payday by falsely accusing my son." Say my son one more time. "To make matters worse, the federal government is now using these lies to prosecute my son. The injustice has been unbearable for our family. The worst part of this ordeal is watching my beloved son be stripped of his dignity, not for what he did, but for what people choose to believe about him." She says, "Watching the world make jokes and laugh at my son's life crumbling before our eyes is something I can never forget." Then don't forget. She continues, "It is truly agonizing to watch the world turn against my son so quickly and easily over lies and misconceptions without ever hearing his side or affording him the opportunity to present his side. I ask his supporters, fans, colleagues, friends, and the public to not judge him before you've had the chance to hear his side. I beg you to think about those who have been wrongfully persecuted and to remember that not everyone who has made mistakes in life deserves to have their entire existence judged by a single action or a few mistakes."
This is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have sufficed as this is a private matter.
Yeah.
Versus my son, my son, my son, my poor baby, my son. To which someone comments, she sounds like she is part of the reason that he turned out this way.
Oh, yeah.
Another reads, she failed as a mother. She should be ashamed. Typical mom response, nothing to see or read here. Yeah, says every mother in history. I hope someone shows her the tapes. One netizen writes, monsters often come from monsters.
Oof.
Which, side note, while Diddy's mom was on her way to court, someone heckled her outside screaming, Janice, your son is a predator. Your son is a predator and deserves to be locked up. Which I don't know if that's appropriate, but it does seem like it stems from her very public, bizarrely written statement of her son. And this so-called public lynching, I mean, thankfully, I don't think the children were heckled, especially his minor children.
I fucking hope
the kids
so.
have released their first joint statement. I do want to mention, there are a lot of people saying we should not be calling them the children, the kids, right? Because they're pretty old. So Justin is like 30, or they're nearing 30, Justin and Christian, and they have been named in lawsuits. Again, I'm not saying that they've committed anything wrongdoing. I'm just saying we don't know. But as for the girls, there's a lot of sympathy, like I said. They released a joint statement in regards to conspiracy theories and the calling of the reinvestigation into Kim Porter's death, but they also released a secondary joint statement that reads, this past month has devastated our family. Many have judged both him and us based on accusations, conspiracy theories, and false narratives that have spiraled into absurdity on social media. We stand united, supporting you every step of the way. We hold on to the truth, knowing it will prevail and nothing will break the strength of our family. We miss you and love you, Dad. To which a lot of netizens feel sympathy for the kids. They say, as gross as Diddy is, I understand his children defending him.
Duh.
Or, that's still their father, but I definitely wouldn't be speaking to the public at all.
Yeah.
Others actually think Diddy is really messed up for allowing his kids to make a statement. Many parents say, as a parent, I would never allow my children to make a public statement because just go through it alone. Don't get your kids involved. They're already going through it.
Yeah.
You don't need them to make a public statement for media to pick apart, for comments to say, oh, because you want his money. Like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? It only helps Diddy. It doesn't help his kids. Others write, telling the kids not to defend their father when he hasn't been convicted is wild. Their silence would have been just as loud. Corinne, who wrote the book about her alleged time around rappers, the one that said that she was enamored by Diddy and he said that she'll have you on video with fingers in your butt. She says, the problem is not just Diddy and it's not just music or hip hop. The problem is men who have a deep down hatred for women. And side note, when her book came out in 2005, everyone hated it, called her a liar, which again, I'm not verifying the statements made in her book, but with Diddy being arrested, it seems like people are now more open to her credibility, perhaps. She says, I said everything I needed to say 10, 20, 15 years ago, and you guys all call me a crazy liar.
Yep.
You call me crazy, bipolar, a whore, and a bitter bitch. And now everyone's calling me to do interviews. Wendy Williams states,
I'd be petty
you know
too.
how I feel about that? His arrest, it's about time. But now you have to think, how many more times, how many more people, how many more women? It's just horrible. What is really weird is that I have been told by many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people of my own family who have said the same. Aubrey O'Day of Danity Kang has stated that she does not feel vindicated because she was one of the first ones to be vocal about Diddy and her negative experience with him. She says, there's no vindication when you're a victim of someone. Anyone being exposed or any truths being told don't change the reality of what you experienced.
Yeah.
She says about the video of Diddy beating Cassie in the hotel, Diddy did not apologize to Cassie. He apologized to the world for seeing what he did. But she seems hopeful of his arrest. She took to Twitter to say, the purpose of justice is to provide an ending and allow us the space to create a new chapter. Women never get this. I feel validated. Today is a win for women all over the world, not just me. Things are finally changing. When it was released that Diddy's homes were getting raided, 50 Cent posted pictures along with the caption, now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case. Later, when CNN leaked the hotel footage, 50 Cent said, first they denied that it even happened. Then the tape comes out, so that means everything that man says is a lie. When someone watches that, if they have a daughter and they can imagine her being under those circumstances, that shit is crazy. Like, they let him get away with it.
And didn't 50 Cent
50
was
Cent
also
said in a podcast
accused
that
of
he did
beating
not
women, though?
participate in freak-offs. He said, I also didn't go to those parties, so the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree. I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like, all that shit he's doing, I'm just not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. Kesha has her hit song TikTok, which there used to be a line that reads, first line, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. But now she has changed it to say, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't think she's re-recorded it to reflect in the streaming platforms, but a few months back, she had a surprise appearance at Coachella where she performed the song with the new lyrics. But there are some bad takes out there. Bow Wow has come out to, the Bow Wow challenge. He said he was on a private jet, but he wasn't on a private jet.
Right.
He has come out to state, I never thought I would see it like this. It's like a whole, Diddy, it's like a hole in the industry. He was such a gatekeeper for the liquor and the clubs. He was everything hip hop. It just didn't feel right because there was no motion. There were no parties after Diddy's gone.
There's a hole?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what he's saying, but
Another
read the
rapper,
room.
Boozy Badass,
Read
said
the room.
Diddy's in jail for basically doing what every other famous entertainer has done. Flew out for threesomes. He just freakier. So we actually are going to call women sex workers who fly in willingly to be with their partners for sex. If that's the case, if you've been flued out and had sex, you should be labeled as a sex worker. If that's the case, that's 80% of the women reading this. You're a celebrity. You got to fly pussy in. How else are you going to get the pussy? But facing, quote, life in prison for doing basically what so many other entertainers have done. Hashtag I disagree.
That is crazy. But I'm not surprised because he's disgusting.
I'm starting to feel like this trafficking charge is literally just for flying in for threesomes. And it's being used as a tool to take down hip hop artists and celebrities. Just think about it. Be careful who you fly in.
Damn.
Netizens have responded to the rapper saying, you're talking like you're on them tapes.
Ooh.
So you saw trafficking and said, yeah, that's totally me. Hey, Boozy, shut up sometimes.
Bruh.
Is another comment. Another comment reads, take your balls out of Diddy's mouth. He's not coming back home.
Ooh.
Which a lot of people say they're not surprised considering that he admitted on live stream that he hired workers for his son and cousin
because he doesn't want him to be
when they
gay.
turned 12 and 13.
No.
Yeah, he said on Instagram Live, I'm training these boys right. Ask my nephews. Ask any of them. When they was 12 and 13, they got head, Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Hell yeah. I got my fucking sons. Yeah, I'm fucking right. Yes, a grown woman, super grown, checked his ass out. She's grown. She checked me out too. I know what the she did to them because I'm getting them prepared, man. So he's bragging about allegedly orchestrating essay on his own family members.
Literally.
One of Diddy's alleged victims have also stated she was one of the first to file a lawsuit. She says, this is not about money. It's about making sure that the world sees this man who rose to the level of an icon, but he's actually sick and has left so many victims in the wake of his unpunished, disgusting behavior for years. Another victim who filed a lawsuit but remains anonymous said, I hope the lawsuit will not just hold Sean Combs, but also all of those who acted with him stood silent and actively covered up his behavior. She said that her nightmare is not an isolated incident. Liza Gardner, who named Aaron Hall, the R&B singer, in her lawsuit, her attorney states, it's about damn time. Sometimes justice delayed is not justice denied, so long as justice ultimately arrives.
Yep.
One netizen comment reads, I assume these are just the ones that have enough evidence that a lawyer thinks it can go to trial. The number could be well into the thousands if you consider this span of 3 decades. Also, statute of limitations varies by state by state. This disgusting case is just getting worse and worse the more you dig. Another comment reads, I don't even think I know 120 people. Another reads, and how many people knew about it for decades and decades? Another comment reads, when you think you're untouchable, God has a way of putting his hands on you. The devil really came back and collected. Diddy is currently facing 15 years to life behind bars if convicted, meaning if he is convicted and somehow given the minimum sentence, he will be 69 at the time of his release. In a segment with Vanity Fair, Diddy states, I'm free as a motherfucker.
I live an extravagant life and I make no apologies for it. I'm free as a mother.
Ironically, he is wearing a t-shirt that says free on there, which as of recording this video does not hold up to be true. And that is the end of our 4-part Diddy series. There's actually so much more that I haven't included.
I feel like when the trials start happening next year, there's going to be more than 4 more parts is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. And, I think there were a lot of questions of people saying, why wasn't Epstein's case talked about as much? Which I do think Epstein's case is heavily talked about, right? Mm-hmm. But I think one aspect that people are forgetting in this that I see a lot of discourse on is Diddy and his friends are all famous.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of discourse and information pertaining to
Yeah.
their past because a lot of it is more public versus a lot of these heads of companies, they can get away with a lot of stuff because they're not public figures.
They're not
And that is
exactly.
also another conversation for another day because people think that there's a lot of executives in the music industry that either knew about what Diddy was doing, was complicit, let it happen, maybe took part in it.
Yeah.
But I guess nobody really cares about them because it's like, do you really care about John in a suit
Yeah.
when you have Ashton Kutcher, you know? So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Let me know and stay safe. I will see you guys in the next one.
Bruh. Bruh. Fuck P. Diddy. Obviously. The Secret Life of Diddy. Okay. I feel like I trust Stephanie Sue a little bit more to talk about this without going in a whole like conspiracy theory bullshit. Like I don't want no conspiracy, bitch. I want facts. Anyway. Do, 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 do. I feel like I've seen most of them. Wait, no, there's one that I haven't seen. All right. I'm gonna finish. I mean, I don't know if I have like 1 hour left, but let's see.
Bada bing, bada boo.
What would be considered a normal reaction to have when detectives come to your door and they tell you the other woman that your fiance has been seeing, she's dead? It's nighttime. The hallway of the apartment complex is not well lit. It's pretty dark, but the two homicide detectives, they don't have time to waste. They knock on the door to Daniel's apartment until it swings open, and instead of Daniel standing there, they see two women. One of them is definitely older. She's 27. Her name is Antonetta. She clearly seems like she's the one in charge when she opens this door. The other girl, Janine, she's 17, and she has this energy that's similar to those side girl in the movies. That one follower of the mean girl who just follows the main character mean girl around, smirking in the background while she's bullying other people. That is the 17-year-old Janine's aura. Antonetta leans up against the doorframe. Janine, the side character, is like behind her, leaning up against the wall. Her hip is popped out on one side.
Hey, this is Detective Poppy or Sergeant Poppy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
We know that there was like an incident that happened earlier today. Has anyone called you about it since?
No. Was somebody supposed to?
Well, we just got another call about it. So I guess the girl went to the hospital.
Okay.
And she died.
She died?
She's dead.
Both of them are quiet for like a moment. Janine, the little follower girl, her hand is still propped up against the wall. She's not even faced. She doesn't even change her position. She has the reaction of someone telling her that a random person on the other side of the world is dead. Actually, less reaction than that. The officers continue.
So, but we know that there was like an altercation that happened beforehand.
And that was mutual, and she came here.
Yeah, we understand that.
Yeah.
So, but because of it,
I wasn't going to kill anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
I get it.
Yeah.
But because of that, we have to kind of talk to you guys and get a more formal statement.
Sure, okay. Wow, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
That was not my intention. I've been mentally going through a lot. I have bipolar depression, and I'm just going through a lot right now. And, you know, I came here from up north with my fiance. That's him.
Hey.
I came here with my fiance.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came
Are you
here,
the sister? His
yeah,
sister? Okay.
sister. I came here with my fiance to start a new life, buy a house, everything like that, and I never expected him to basically cheat on me with someone at the workplace, you know what I'm saying?
It was not the reaction most people were expecting when Antonetta is told that her fiance's love interest is dead, especially when she's the one responsible. sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the National Network to End Domestic Violence, a nonprofit organization dedicated to creating a social, political, and economic environment in which partner-related, workplace-related, and stalking violence no longer exists. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. Now, with that being said, let's get started. What does one do when they find out that their partner is cheating on them? One person said that they held a mock funeral for their relationship to mourn the death of their marriage.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
They went and they buried all of their photos together. They held eulogies with all of their friends.
No, I just finished it, Chucky Milky.
And then they walked away to grieve. Another person said
literally
they
just finished it like 2 minutes ago.
Throwing everything out of the house. That was the only appropriate response she felt in that moment. She just wanted to get rid of everything that had to do with him. Gone, go away. There needed to be a new space that was untainted by their whole relationship. Antonetta, on the other hand, had quite a unique reaction, I guess you could say. Antonetta and Daniel had been together for the past 5 years. They have a child together, and for the past 5 years, ever since she became a mom to his baby, this is her main priority. All she does when she wakes up till the moment that she hits the bed and goes to sleep is think about her 2 babies. So she has one with Daniel and another one from a previous relationship. She doesn't have time for her friends anymore. She doesn't have time for her family. She has nobody but Daniel and their kids. And maybe Daniel's little sister, Janine. That's
okay.
it. Antonetta feels like she's gotten even more isolated because they moved all the way from Buffalo, New York, down to Georgia to start this new life. And one day she's cooking, cleaning, working from home, taking care of the kids, when Daniel's little 17-year-old sister, Janine, turns to her and says, "Oh, and I forgot to tell you, Daniel is cheating on you." This just confirmed what Antonetta has been feeling since they moved to Georgia. She knew it. She could feel it in her intuition. And this is going to make her lose her mind. She says, "I work from home. I'm in this house 24/7. I cook, clean, and work. That's all I do all day long. It's probably why I lost my mind." "What do you mean he's cheating on me?" She has no family's house to stay at. She just has Daniel. That's it. And he's over there cheating with the manager of his workplace. She says, "I put all my eggs in one basket just for this to happen." I don't know.
I mean, that would drive anybody crazy.
When she confronts Daniel, maybe she thought that he was going to grab her leg and beg her to stay, promise he'll never do it again. But instead, he says, "The love interest has been gone, Antonetta, okay? It's gone, and it's not the other girl's fault. Our problems are deep, okay? We got a kid and everything, so, like, I have a kid with you. I'm going to respect you regardless." This is his quote. "But if I'm not with you, then I don't have to do that part anymore, the romantic part. I'm just going to take care of my kid, and if you need help, I will help you."
Oh, like he's trying to break up?
Yes.
Wow.
Daniel explains his side of the story. He feels like he's not even cheating on Antonetta. He thought the feeling was pretty mutual. It was understood by both parties that they're not getting along, that they're just together right now physically for the kids. He says, "This is like crazy to me. Like, it's not like this fresh, like I'm over here cheating on this woman. I'm not. This has been a toxic environment and she's just been trying to figure out what to do. I've been trying to figure out what to do, but she doesn't want nobody to leave. And I'm telling her, like, I'll leave. I'll live in my car. I will do whatever. But it's just like, I've been through this before. Antonetta used me, abused me mentally, and I was in the wrong because I'm a man. Like, I'm not going to do that again. I refuse. This is not happening."
Okay.
What part of Georgia are they in?
Buford, Georgia.
Oh.
Antonetta feels betrayed. She just found out that Daniel cheated on her with someone from work named Ashley, and she feels devastated. Daniel, on the other hand, feels like it's not cheating because their relationship hasn't been good for a very long time, and that they should both just move on. Daniel's like, "I thought that was the plan." But that is not what ends up happening, because within 48 hours, Ashley, the woman from Daniel's workplace, will end up dead. There's a saying that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. The last ones to be seen with Ashley, the quote-unquote other woman, were Antonetta and Janine. So naturally, they're brought into the police station to be questioned. Because how did Ashley go from being completely fine in the morning, meeting up with the two of them outside of Daniel's apartment, and then being immediately hospitalized? The two girls, 27-year-old Antonetta, Daniel's fiance and the mother of his child, and 17-year-old Janine, Daniel's little sister and Antonetta's sister-in-law, are sitting in separate police interrogation rooms. And Antonetta tells the police officers, I haven't slept since last night. Like, I've just had a really long day and night, and I understand this is all voluntary, so I kind of like wanted to know, or if I could just like, is it going to be much longer? Can I come back or something? The officer tells her, no, we need you to stay. As in, I have to stay? Okay. I think this is when Antonetta starts realizing how serious this is, because immediately after she has read her rights, she states,
well, I do want to speak with the lawyer just because of how sensitive the situation is. I will say that, I don't go out looking to harm anybody. That's not my intention.
She looks so
very remorseful about anything that has happened with that young lady. I'll also say that, it wasn't my intention to even get into an altercation with her today. She came over to my place of residence looking for my fiance. We argued. I was hit. We fought. I feel really bad, but I don't know. I'm just this is just too much.
She looks actually so like
So she
out of
asked
it.
for attorney and then she went on to share all of this without the attorney.
Yes. She does not reveal or answer many other questions, though, after that. In terms of what a criminal defense attorney would want to see in a client, she's not bad. She's not the worst. She doesn't respond to anything. This is pretty much it. But as always, the group is only as strong as its weakest link. In the next room over, 17-year-old Janine has read her rights, and then she's asked about what happened that day. As she's being read her Miranda rights, she looks very serious. Her energy is similar to that of Antonetta's. Like she's comprehending the seriousness, the gravity of this situation. And then she's asked, so tell us what happened. That's when she cracks a smile, flips her hair, and starts using her hands to narrate this whole story. So let me start where it leaded, okay?
Since I've been down here, they haven't been on good terms. So, arguments back to back. So, we just came back from Florida, not too long ago, from her mom's wedding. Mm-hmm. And we left on bad terms with everybody because my brother got into a, incident with her stepdad. So, ever since that happened and we left Florida, it's just been rockier. It's just been worse arguments and shit. So, yeah. Sorry, I just couldn't.
You're fine.
Okay.
Is she laughing because she's nervous?
Like she's laughing. Like, when you do the index finger to the mouth to cover your mouth because you're giggling about something so hilarious. She's flipping her hair, using her hand to narrate. I will be honest, she sounds very normal, and that's the alarming part because she's in an interrogation room, but she sounds like every other normal person giving a little story time on TikTok.
That's why I'm like, is she nervous? Like, what's she acting like that?
A man cheats. Like always, he's feeling less than he thinks it's okay to cheat, so, he tells me who's he cheating with and stuff. Now, me and my stepsister, not my stepsister, my sister-in-law, we're very close, so close, you understand. She's more of a sister to me than my brother's a brother to me,
Oh, yeah.
Very so, close. We're very close. Yeah. So, once he told me, I was just like, ooh, I want to tell her.
It's girl code.
Yes, right?
Like she's giggling and stuff?
The whole time she's laughing and giggling. She's flipping her hair. She's like, hee 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 hee. The police keep egging her on. Yeah, of course. It's girl code. Literally, the detective is playing into this.
Bro, he's laughing with her.
So then she puts her hand on the table and she keeps covering her mouth.
So, especially right after he told me what he was doing, he wanted to do it with her. So I was just like, I'm about to tell her. Mm-hmm. So she won't do it with him. So I let a few days go by because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to stir up the pot because I already know they had problems. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, maybe it'll come to light before I have to say anything. Obviously it did, but I still told her. So 2 days prior before this day, we were just chilling. She was working. And Daniel did something to her to make her upset. So we were talking or whatever. And I was just like, oh, I forgot to tell you. No, I didn't forget, but I still, you know. So I was like, told her what happened. He explained, cheated or whatever. She was like, oh, really? And she's upset, whatever. I was like, don't tell him that I told you because he's going to be mad at me. Right. Okay, so after that, he explained how the girl looked to me, though. And, you know, curly hair, Puerto Rican, skinny girl.
So again, the way she's talking is so normal. I feel like this is how I would talk, maybe not in this setting, in this context, but if I was just talking to a girlfriend about something unserious, something that happened at the grocery store that resulted in no negative consequences. I accidentally bumped into my sister with my cart and we got into a little argument.
Yeah.
She uses her finger to emphasize words as well. The next day we went to the store last night. We went to the store last night to Quick Trip. Quick Trip is like right there, you know.
Does she not understand that she's being interrogated for murder or what's going on?
I don't think
she
she
does not understand, clearly. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not sure why, but she doesn't understand. But I think beyond that, it's fascinating because I do see a lot of comments on her very now since gone viral interrogation clips of people saying, hey, I'm 17, and if I'm even near the vicinity of a police officer, I'm not talking like my regular Gen Z self. Like I am suddenly very professional. No, sir.
Code switch.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
No, thank you.
Especially someone died. So even if she doesn't think
I don't
that
think
she's
she
responsible,
understands.
still, like,
Yes.
that's a very weird demeanor, right?
It's very strange. It's truly just a story time on TikTok. So then she explains with her finger, okay? So after that, he explained how the girl looked to me, though. And, you know, curly hair, Puerto Rican, skinny girl. So I was like, all right, explain to Antonetta. The next day, we went to the store last night. We went to the store last night to Quick Trip. Quick Trip is like right there, you know. Quick Trip is like a gas station, by the way, side note.
Oh, okay.
So we walked to the Quick Trip, and as we were walking, both of them are walking together from Quick Trip. So they're just now leaving and we're just now coming. So Antonetta's like, is that Daniel walking by? So now she runs to him and is like, who is this? So he's like, oh, it's my coworker or whatever. Mind you, before we walked to Quick Trip, we asked him, when you go on your break, can you take me to the store? He said he couldn't leave on his break. So when we saw them walking, it was like, you just said you couldn't leave on your break, but now you're walking with her to the store. So she's upset now. I mean, you wouldn't take me to the store and now you're walking with the girl. She just explained to how she looked and she fit the description of the other woman. So, you know, she's upset. They go arguing outside. So we finally got her to calm down. We went to the car and then when that happened, the other girl, Ashley, was like, basically trying to argue with Antonetta because you know how upset her attitude was. So, you know, she didn't want to seem like a little softie in front of my brother. So, you know, arguing. And then she walked away. I went to her and I was just like, listen, the problem, I explained to her the problem because I guess she was just, I don't know if she was his manager or his coworker. I don't know. But I explained to her the problem or whatever and let her know, like, it's my brother and you fit the description of the girl that he was cheating on her with. So yeah, that's why it's a problem now. And she's like, oh, what did that guy do to me? Acting like she wasn't my brother. But we know. So after that, he went home. They weren't very good. They didn't go to sleep until like a good 10 a.m. in the morning. So after that, she's kicking Daniel or whatever. She doesn't want to live with him anymore. She's kicking him out. Either he's going to leave or she's going to leave. And, you know, she's got to leave with the kids and everything. So it just makes sense if he just left. So he's getting kicked out or whatever. And then I guess she was coming to see him. Ashley was coming to see him. He was getting kicked out. I don't know. I wasn't in those messages. I'm not sure what was, that was. But I guess she was coming to see him because he was getting kicked out. Antonetta saw those messages. And the way Janine leans over, she's like leaning on the arm of her chair now. And she looks like she's giving the officers the energy of, now get this. Like, you know, when you tell a story and you move your body to kind of narrate and you lean in closer so that the audience gets the attention a little bit more, like, hold on, it's about to get crazy. Mm-hmm. You're adding in these little cues, like you have something so juicy to tell your friends. That's the energy she's giving. She continues.
Girl.
Like, yeah, now she's about to come see you. Now I'm about to beat her up. Because you just saved me from her the other day. No, you know that's how it was. So she's coming. So Antonetta and me, we go, and she comes to the house. You know, big fight, big fight. So
The boyfriend's getting kicked out.
Yes, Janine's version of the story is that her brother, Daniel, is getting kicked out of the house. And I guess he was texting Ashley, his manager, that he is also in a romantic relationship with, that he's getting kicked out. And she said, I'm going to come pick you up.
Got it.
I'm going to come see you. So she's on the way to Daniel's apartment. And Antonetta and Janine read those messages and decide, you know what? Let's beat her up.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes. And big fight. Janina is smiling while she's making her eyes big to emphasize just how serious this big fight is. But at the same time, she's relaxed and smiling as if, again, she's just sharing a wild little TikTok story time. And she continues to recount all the things that they did to Ashley with this very nonchalant smile on her face. She smiles and she tells the detectives in the room,
I never, out of all fights I've been in, I never saw somebody talk shit during a fight, like, while you're gonna be up talking shit. I never met somebody that ever.
What was she saying?
She was just, you know, straight talking. Oh, he doesn't want you. That's why he's not just shit like that. Throwing it out in the air. And then, like, it was just such a weird fight. Like, she just was kept on talking. Then she was like, "Aren't you his sister?" And it was just laughing all types of shit. It was just weird. She was a weird person. Never.
What?
Okay.
Ashley came over to pick him up.
yes.
When was the fight happening?
Outside, they met her downstairs. Ashley was walking to pick up Daniel.
And where's Daniel?
Inside sleeping. Oh, it's going to get crazy because none
Wait,
of this
is all happening while Daniel is sleeping?
Yes, because he was not actually getting kicked out.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's all going to make sense in a second. This is Janine's version of the story to the police, and the police are already putting together, this doesn't make sense with what we've discovered.
Oh.
So this is not the most accurate version of events. This
What is happening?
Janine's version of events. Their detectives are laughing with her. They're joking around with her. I mean, Detective Carter really nailed this one in the interrogation. I don't even know how to explain it. The way that she is instantly so buddy-buddy with Janine, the way that she built rapport is probably one of the more impressive ones I've seen so far.
I was about to judge you. You were like, I never went to Niagara Falls. I'm like, girl, did you even leave your house? Like,
Oh my god.
like, no.
And so she's joking around with her, even when she
Hi,
explains
Charita.
how they took Ashley's phone. So Janina's like, during the fight, we took Ashley, the other woman's phone, because Ashley has a husband. So we were going to tell the husband that she's cheating on her husband
She has a
with
what
Daniel,
the fuck?
who's cheating on Antonetta.
What is
And it's all
happening?
funny for the detectives. The detectives are laughing with her like it's the funniest thing in the world until it's not. So we're going to have to book you into jail. Your charge is going to be aggravated battery, all right, for the fight. So basically just a little more serious than just a regular battery. So what's up with Antonetta? Same thing. So you're clear on your charges, Janine? So it's robbery. Janine's mouth drops open.
Robbery? Hold up. What? Robbery?
Yeah.
We didn't steal her phone. We took it so she could come to the house.
Oh, you took it.
Yeah,
You didn't steal it.
she got her phone back. I told you she wasn't leaving unless we gave her back her phone. We just did it so we could call her husband, but we changed our mind.
Okay.
And once the police tell her, yeah, okay, that's robbery, she covers her mouth and starts laughing. Like, oh, literally.
Girl.
The other charge is murder.
Murder?
Yep. You're being charged with murder.
Me?
Yep.
That's too bad.
That's deep, right?
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
No. What?
Whoa,
And
now
she
she's
starts wagging
realizing.
her finger in the air. No. Murder? I barely laid hands on her.
That's her realization.
Yeah, that's her realization. And she keeps trying to argue that it wasn't murder. But the whole time she's like half laughing. Later, when they take pictures of her, she's posing. She's not drunk, by the way. A lot of people have compared her to Stephanie Malgoza, the drunk driver that killed the couple that we covered recently.
Yeah.
But she's not drunk.
She's not under any influence.
No.
She's just weird and dumb.
It's just the most bizarre interrogation. And the way that she's sitting there, She keeps talking to herself after they leave the room. So they tell her charges, they leave the room, and she just keeps going, me? And she's thinking. Sometimes I see that she looks stressed because we got the original full interrogation clip from the police. Sometimes it looks like she is about to feel how serious this situation is. But then she'll start talking to herself again like, me? In jail? No.
What?
What the?
Oh yeah, she's in
How long
denial.
was she in there for? Like an hour, 2 hours?
The whole interrogation, I want to say the actual when she's talking to the
Do
detectives was
that.
maybe like 30, 45 minutes.
Welcome.
She's in there for a good 2 hours. There's about
Plus
30
on
minutes
YouTube,
in
it's
the
free.
beginning before she even talks to the detectives where she's just singing. She's singing in the interrogation room.
Like
She's singing.
humming? Like random
No, like
songs?
full on Hotline Bling by Drake.
He says all I do is wonder if you're bending over backwards for someone else. Wonder if you're running up a backwards for someone
Girl.
else. Doing things I touch you getting nasty for someone else.
What?
She's using finger guns and everything. I think that's why a lot of people think that she is reminiscent of Stephanie Malgoza.
30 minutes of singing. The police came in, talked
Story time.
and then told her that she is going to be charged for murder.
Then she's left alone for about another 20 minutes where she's just kind of talking to herself. And at certain points, it seems like she's getting serious, but then she'll start yapping to herself again about like, me in jail? No.
She's in
no.
denial.
And then she'll put her head in her hands.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Miss
We're
Thing.
going to jail in these clothes.
They'll give you clothes when you get there.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Bad outfit. Like, let me change, please.
And then they come back in to take pictures of her, take pictures of if she has any injuries or cuts, scratches, bruising, because there was an altercation previously.
Yeah.
And she starts kind of posing and giggling. And then she's like, okay, let me be serious.
No freaking
Yeah.
way.
I'm gonna take pictures of you, I know. But you went and checked yourself, you know. You good.
Oh my god. Let me see.
You gotta get your arms down. You're posing.
Is it a little?
No, it looks fine. No big deal.
Girl.
If you'll turn and face that wall for me. Thank you.
Woo, mes amis.
Even when they're handcuffing her, she's like making jokes.
Like what?
Just talking about how her bracelets were handcrafted in Africa and then she has to give them up. And then she's like, ooh, like, oh my gosh, this tight. After Antonetta and Janine's fight that Janine just told the detectives all about, Ashley died in the hospital from her injuries.
That's crazy.
And so yes, now both of them are getting charged with murder. So just before Antonetta and Janine are brought into the police station, 4 people in Ashley's life are reacting to the news of Ashley's death, and they're all vastly different reactions. Daniel is standing in the hallway of that apartment after Antonetta and Janine are taken to the police station. He's in the hallway with 2 detectives. He's showing them his phone, showing them all the text messages Antonetta sent to Ashley. He's saying, Antonetta took my phone while I was asleep and lied about me getting kicked out to lure Ashley to the apartment to beat her up. He tries to explain to the detectives that he was checking in with Ashley, but she clearly does not want to talk to him. So after the fight, he keeps texting her like, are you okay? Are you okay? I need to see you. And she just seems over him. He just wants to know. He's reassuring the detectives. Is she hurt? Like real bad?
I'm not going to make a show. I'm not going to go and yell. I'm not going to go call her. I just want to know.
Well, yeah, we got a call from the hospital a little while ago, and she actually passed away.
I will say Daniel's reaction is very difficult to witness. He immediately steps down the stairs, walks straight up to the male detective that just told him the news, almost like he's about to start a fight. But he's begging.
Bro, stop playing with me, please.
No, seriously.
Please stop playing with me. Please stop playing with me.
Sit down. Sit down.
Please stop playing with me.
Shh, breathe.
Relax.
Breathe.
Please stop playing with me, man.
Breathe.
Oh, shit.
Look at me. Look at me. Breathe.
They keep having to tell him, just relax, breathe. And he keeps begging them, please stop playing with me. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Holy shit. He starts walking back into his apartment and he sounds hysterical. The authorities have to remind him to be mindful of his babies. They're still in there. They don't need to be traumatized.
Oh my God. Oh shit. I'm never gonna find that again, bro.
Hey, man. Hey, come here. Come on the couch and sit down. We know it's hard.
Well,
And it's
that's
actually very
sad.
difficult to listen to. The authorities are trying to calm him down. I know this is hard, but at the end of the day, you still have your child in here, okay? And even as the authorities are on their way to leave, Daniel stops them and he cries to them, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Look, Daniel, we gotta, I hate to leave you right now because you don't have anybody else, but we gotta, I don't know what to fucking do right now. Damn, what the
I really can't handle.
That's actually fucking sad though.
The detectives then ask about his work schedule, which I think brings him to another pretty harsh reality of not only is the girl that he was falling in love with been murdered, but the kid's mom, the mother of his child, is gone because she's the killer. The police ask him, do you work tomorrow? Or you said you work only at nights primarily. I work at night. I'm not even, how am I gonna fucking do this? Listen, you just gotta take a breath and give yourself some time. Do you have any other siblings you can call? No, I don't have anybody. Someone you can call and talk on the phone with? No. The authorities leave him alone with his children. Now, in the same town, there is another man who has a strong reaction to the news of Ashley's death as well.
Her husband?
Her fiance is in the hospital with detectives. Today is Ashley's fiance's birthday.
Oh.
Ashley is dead on his birthday.
Oh.
So the detectives don't know how much this man knows. They don't know if he knows that Ashley was having an affair, but pretty quickly on, you can tell that he was in the dark. He doesn't know that she was seeing a man named Daniel. I just don't get it. There's no reason why anybody would want to do this to her, and it was just random. I don't know why. She was going out to get me a birthday cake. That's what she said. Today was my fucking birthday.
Oh my God.
She was going out to get me a birthday cake, and it just happened, you know? And we have a 7-year-old son, and I have to go to my son and break the news. And that he explains to the authorities how 8 months prior, they moved back to Georgia from the Bronx in New York because his mom had passed away. She was very sick. They wanted to be with his mother who lived in Georgia. And now 8 months later, this happens. Just no reason. It doesn't make sense. He tells detectives that all of them are originally from New York. His mom moved down to Georgia first, and they came because they thought, quote, New York, I mean, you see all the random shootings, beatings, stabbings. We thought, we don't need this. And everything we did was just for our son. But now we come back to Georgia and deal with the same that we tried to leave. You know what I mean? I never felt safe having my child and her alone in the city in New York because of shit like this. And now we come over here and I make sure we find a gated community so we're a little more safer. They actually all live in the same community. They live in the same apartment complex. Gated. It's like a massive apartment complex. Ashley and her fiance live on the other side.
Oh!
Daniel, Antonetta, and Janine, who's visiting, live on the other side.
Okay, that's crazy.
And like this happens, so it's like we're not safe anywhere. I tried my best to give my family the best I can, the best chance possible, and it didn't work.
Oh, that's
this
so
just
sad.
blows my mind. We live in a gated community that's supposed to prevent like this from happening. Unwanted people in the community, and then this happens. I can't even tell you why this would happen. I have no clue. I go to work every day. All I do is work and come home. That's all I do. So, you know, if I had any slight idea of what could have caused this, but I don't even know. We literally both work and go home every day. That's it. She works overnight at Floor and Decor. She restocks and organizes and all that kind of stuff. And I told her not to work, but she was one of those, I want to have my own. I want to be independent. I don't want you doing everything for us. And I told her, but you don't have to work. I don't care that you don't help me. I'm the man of the house. We have a child together. I want to provide for you guys. But she was real persistent. She was like, no, I want to help. I didn't like her working though, especially overnight. But I was just trying to comfort her and let her know that everything's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. I was walking her through that everything the doctor had told me. I told her, okay, so you got a little bleeding. They said they're going to check it out. Let's see if they can fix it here. I'm trying to reassure her everything is good. Everything is good.
Wait, what does he know so far?
He believes that she was randomly attacked.
And is she still currently alive?
She's dead now.
Does he know that?
He knows she's passed, but he has no idea that she was not randomly attacked. He thinks this was a random attack in the gated neighborhood.
Oh.
And the police, I mean, it does seem like they feel a little bit more awkward about the situation because I think they know, but I don't think that they have confirmation of the affair. So these are different detectives from the one that are talking to Antonetta, Janine, and Daniel. So they're not confirmed that there was a relationship involved, so they can't tell him that yet.
Right.
So just to be clear, just to your understanding, this looks to you like there's just a random beating for no reason.
From what was told to me, yeah, she said she doesn't know who the girls are. She said she walked out the building and saw two girls roaming, and they looked suspicious. They looked like they were up to no good. And then they seen her, approached her, started swinging right off the gate.
Without saying anything.
Without saying anything. So I don't know.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like I'm to blame.
Oh my God, no.
It's my birthday, and she would have never went out there to get me a cake.
Oh no.
No.
You know, but I have to, because it's like, I just feel like
you can't do that. It's gonna eat at you for forever. It's like you never predicted this. You didn't see this coming.
Bro, come on now.
The
It's
police
not
try
your
to
fault.
ask a bit more about their personal lives, and her fiance responds, I mean, the past few days I've been accusing her of cheating on me because of, you know, like she accused me of cheating on her and I accused her of cheating on me. But for some reason, I don't know, previously in our 10 years together, I did fuck up and cheat in New York in New York. So nothing here. You haven't done anything here. No, nothing here. Ever since that day, you know, she's always gotcha. But we always got over it. We knew it was petty. We like to get in under each other's skin. We've been together for so long. Like for my girl, Ashley, if like some girl smiles at me, right? She's like, oh, what was that about? She gets extremely jealous. But we spent the last few days rekindling and I was apologizing for all this bullshit because at the end of the day, family is everything. He says, I can't even comprehend it. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I have no clue why this happened. And that's just what's killing me. When she told me one of the girls bit her on the face, I'm like, that sounds pretty personal. Somebody just doesn't bite somebody for nothing, you know?
On the face?
I just want her back.
What is
happening? She's been with me for 10 years. We've been together for 10 years. We've known each other since the 8th grade. I had a crush on her since the 8th grade. Today is my birthday. 8 days from today is our 10-year anniversary. We had plans. I already reserved a restaurant for our anniversary. We had plans for Christmas. We had so many plans. I mean, she's not that kind of woman that would back down from anybody. And that's just one thing that I really hated about her because I kind of need peace. You know, I want her safe, but that's just her mentality. We're from the Bronx.
Bruh.
It's pretty depressing when the police leave him in the small little hospital room. So during the whole questioning with the police, he stays a little emotionless. There are times where he breaks down and the police will pull him back and redirect the question. I don't think they want him to get too emotional because they need answers. So they keep redirecting the questions and he keeps having these moments where he needs to collect himself. But overall, he's able to hold it together very well until they leave that hospital room, and on the body cam, you can hear him instantly break down into just hysterical sobs. They don't tell him, though. They don't tell him that she knew those girls. They don't tell him that there might be someone else in the picture, or at least not in this moment. Antonetta and Janine are told right before being brought into the police station. And like I said from earlier this episode, their reaction is very mild. Antonetta's first thought was how she's been having a hard time. And Janine in the police station, she thinks this is all hilarious.
I don't think these women realize, but mostly the younger
Some
one.
of my favorite wholesome videos to watch online are the ones where people who speak multiple languages but don't look like it will randomly break out and don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. Rotten Mango listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/rotten. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem for 50% off at rosettastone.com/rotten today. As many of you guys know, I've never been a big drinker. My stomach is already so sensitive to certain foods and drinks that I can never really bounce back the next day. It just ruins the whole next day. A sip of champagne for New Year's, it doesn't matter if it's a toast for the wedding, I always end up regretting it, which is very unfortunate because I think I love the experience and the taste of a red wine with a steak or a glass of ice wine for dessert. But those regrets are now gone because I found Z-Biotics, a pre-alcohol probiotic drink that actually works. Their probiotic
I
is
think I heard about
invented
that.
by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not the dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. This is a proactive solution that wards off feeling miserable the next day instead of a reactive approach like drinking electrolytes or getting greasy food. My first time trying Z-Biotics was actually during
Never heard
Chuseok,
of
which
that.
is the Korean equivalent to Thanksgiving. I drank their pre-alcohol probiotic before my family brought over this Paekseju. It was my first time having it. It's like a rice-based drink. And normally I'd be regretting it the next morning. But the next morning I woke up and I felt like every other morning, and it was kind of crazy. I was almost convinced it was the Korean rice drink. But then I had a glass of wine after Z-Biotics. It's the Z-Biotics. Honestly, Z-Biotics is a game changer. Even if you're not a big drinker like me, it's always so 100% money back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason at all, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/rotten and use the code ROTTEN at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this episode and our good times. Meanwhile, the detectives are from both sides, from the hospital and now the detectives that are in the police station talking to Antonetta and Janine. They're trying to get the full picture of what's been going on. Earlier that day, Ashley and her fiance had walked into an emergency room. The nurses at the emergency room are talking to each other about how to handle this new patient because Ashley's injuries and what she's saying happened, none of them really make sense. The nurses see these large blotches all over her face, head, upper torso. I mean, these are some pretty bad bruises. Her entire face is swollen, puffy. She has bite marks on her body, her face, her legs, her back. She clearly has a black eye. She looks what appears to be bite marks on her cheek. Scrape marks all over her shoulders like she was dragged, like somebody dragged her shoulders onto the concrete outside. Her elbows are completely scraped up. Her knees are bleeding. Other notes on her medical chart include possible collapsed lung, patient in need of a CT scan, evidence of a lacerated liver.
Woo!
There's not much explanation on how she got these injuries that don't include severe abuse, at least none that the nurses can think of. They ask the man that she's come into the emergency room with, her fiance, and he explains to her that he was at work when she called him, stating that she just got jumped. She got jumped and it all happened so fast. She didn't even have a chance to do anything. It was just, they ganged up on her and she doesn't know why. He was rightfully so concerned for her that he leaves work, comes home, she's on the bed just gasping for air, saying she can't breathe, she can't breathe, she can't breathe. He keeps asking her, what happened? Like, what do you mean you just got jumped? What happened? She's trying to explain to him what happened, but she can't even finish her sentence without stopping. Hold on, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. She does have a pre-existing heart condition, so it could be that. He gets her dressed, rushes her to the emergency room, but as they're leaving, she's throwing up. It's red blood. The entire time in the car, he keeps telling her, trying to comfort her, it's all right, we're almost there. That's what he explains to the nurses, which only gives them more confirmation. Yeah, we gotta call the police.
Obviously.
This is weird.
They probably thought he did it.
Him at the hospital?
They might have.
Probably. I mean,
Because
that would have
it's
been the
just
first
The whole
assumption.
thing, none of this makes sense.
They called the police because they feel like there was something a lot darker here.
Yes, either it could be him, which is a natural thought until you realize what happened, right? It could have been somebody else, or those two girls that randomly jumped her, they still need to get arrested because you can't just randomly jump somebody. That's
Obviously.
crazy. So they call the police, but it's very tricky when the patient does not want the police involved.
Oof.
In fact, she tells the officers on the phone she doesn't even know why the nurses called them in the first place. She says, it's fine, the situation is just weird. But she doesn't want to press charges. It's not that big of a deal. She's just waiting for a taxi. This is what she tells the police. She was waiting for a taxi when these two women walk up towards her, behaving suspiciously, and they start whispering to each other. And the only thing that she hears them say is, yeah, she matches the description.
Oh boy.
And they just start jumping her, beating her. She said she doesn't know who they are, why they randomly attacked her. They probably mistook her for somebody else, is her best guess.
And this was
But obviously,
filmed?
the police don't really believe her. In fact, they have several reports that indicate that this was a very personal attack.
Oh?
The police just try to verify with her, but once again, you don't want the police involved.
You don't want anything done? You are all good?
Yeah,
okay. Awesome. Well, I really hope you feel better, and if you have any more questions for me, just call the Gwinnett County Police Department and ask for Officer King. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
She's not going to get the chance to, because after the CT scans, the doctors realize her injuries are so much worse than they thought. She has extensive blunt force trauma to the head, which has led to hemorrhaging in the brain. She ends up passing away. Her cause of death is listed as generalized trauma. Her manner of death is homicide. Clearly, Antonetta and Janine did something to her.
That is crazy.
But exactly what? Just 3 hours prior, before her passing, a call comes into 911 from a leasing agent at the apartment complex, Preston Hills Apartments. The leasing agent is on the phone with 911, and she's almost live updating the operator on what's going on at the apartment complex right now. First, she's explaining she's driving into work, and in the parking lot, in the distance, like on the back road of this apartment complex, she sees what looks like a big dog on the ground or something. I don't know. It looks like a pet. But as she drives closer, she sees, oh, it's not a pet. It's two girls on the ground fighting. It's a bunch of people fighting. It does not look like standing around and arguing either. They're on the ground, the concrete. They're kicking, slamming, punching. They're down on the ground. And naturally, the leasing agent has zero intention of getting out of the car, but she's still brave. She's rolling by in her car, these three people fighting, and she tells them to stop the fight. One of them looks up at her, pauses, and goes back to slamming down the other girl's head onto the cold concrete, onto the pavement. The leasing agent drives to our office, immediately calls 911, and she remembers seeing one person sitting on top of Ashley. At this point, Ashley is forced to lay on her stomach on the cold concrete floor. Somebody is sitting on top of her, holding her down onto the ground while simultaneously punching her, slamming her head around, physically grabbing at her head, pulling it around, punching it. Just so much is happening. And the third person is standing next to the two, and it looks like she's recording on their phone. And then she'll randomly go in and just kick Ashley while she's down on the ground and then go back to recording. The leasing agent tells the operator they're jumping her. I mean, it's so clear. This girl, Ashley, is not fighting back. She's down. She's a small girl. They're jumping her. And she also hears one of them scream, "I will murder you. I will murder you."
Oh boy.
I will murder you. I will murder you. I will murder you. I will murder you. I will murder you.
She can see them through the leasing office window, and when they finally get up, she can see that one of the girls, Ashley, has this giant red splotch on her head. She could tell it's blood. She's bleeding. There looks to be a tiny bit of blood on one of the offending parties, the one that's beating her, but it's hard to say for certain if it's Ashley's blood or she's also injured. But then something very strange happens. They are no longer fighting. All three of them get up, and now they're walking towards an apartment unit together. Nobody's getting dragged. I mean, nobody seems happy, but they're just walking back to the apartment now.
What?
The police later pieced together that after Antonetta and Janine lure Ashley out to their side of the neighborhood, pretending to be Daniel, texting Ashley on Daniel's phone while Daniel is asleep, acting like he's going to meet her outside, they come, tackle her to the ground, attack her, and when they decide they've gotten all their sick anger out, they grab Ashley's phone and threaten to call her fiance using her phone.
Oh my God.
Nope, you're not getting it. You're jumping both of us for your phone. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. No.
They start walking back to Daniel's apartment with Ashley's phone, and they lock her outside. Ashley is standing outside Daniel's door, screaming, banging on the door, like, I'm not leaving until I get my phone back. That is when Daniel wakes up. Janine would even later say that Antonetta actually helped Daniel wake up and said, hey, the love of your life is outside.
Oh my
Basically,
God.
like, your side is outside, is kind of how she describes it. He better get the door. Eventually, Daniel gets Ashley her phone back and she leaves. And not long after that, she arrives at the hospital and the police show up to their unit to question them. At this point, because the leasing agent had called about this fight, Ashley is not deceased yet. At this point, she's at the hospital. The police are in Daniel's apartment, and they're trying to investigate what this altercation was about. Antonetta opens the door, and she starts walking out towards the officers, and she's ready to tell them everything. Antonetta has a very good explanation for why she beat up Ashley. She states that Ashley had come here looking for her man. She was banging on the door, telling her to open it so that they could fight some more. Antonetta is ranting to the officers.
This girl, she came to my house. She's been sleeping with my fiance. She works over there. She's his manager, and she keeps on forcing him to have sex with her after he been cut it off, or she's gonna fire him. And we ended up fighting right there because she approached my home. This is my home. She lives all the way over there.
Okay, is everybody in the house right now?
The officers point at Daniel, and this is your fiance? Yes, my fiance. I've known him for 5 years, okay? We moved here together from up north. He's worked at Floor & Decor. He's been sleeping with his manager. And that's who was here? Yes, he's been sleeping with his manager, and I've been feeling it for some time now. Yesterday, I'm walking to Quick Trip, the gas station. I see them walking together, and you're a woman. You know your intuition. I know that's the girl. I've seen her. We argued yesterday. He broke it up. It was fine. And this morning now, she's calling, texting, saying that she's going to be coming here. So I waited for her. And then I fought her because I'm just enraged now. I'm very heartbroken. You see, I started packing my stuff yesterday. Nothing is even in bags because I'm just mentally out of it right now. Because this is the person that I wanted to grow old with. This is the person that I wanted to share my life with. And I feel dirty. I feel disgusting. I feel heartbroken. And I feel stupid. But I'm okay right now. I'm not going to go out hating anybody, hitting anybody. I'm not a menace to society. I'm just very heartbroken that the person I love has been doing this to me.
This is all on camera?
Yes. They break another rule, which is do not lie to the authorities. So these girls, they just be breaking all the rules on what not to do with the police.
Terrible.
The police asked the two girls, so did y'all come to meet up so y'all could fight? Or nope. She came here to meet with him, and then I caught her, and I beat her up. She's actually cheating on her family, too. Go figure, you know, husband and kids. I hope her husband finds the hell out, because why do I have to be the only one in shambles in my life? Is that y'all's kid together? The officer is pointing at the kid, presumably watching TV in the apartment. So most of the footage is blurred because there are children in the background. Yes, beautiful, right? Who would want to lose a family like that? Who would want to? Beautiful kid. I hope you guys understand I'm not crazy. I'm really peaceful. I'm just heartbroken, you know? I'm just very heartbroken. You know, I never thought I would have to deal with this. Never in my life, you know? At one point, the officers asked them to describe what Ashley looks like, and Antonetta tells officers, Hispanic, black hair with highlights, messed up teeth, big jaw, don't know what he sees in her.
Oh my God.
And weight, just like estimate, well, like 80 pounds. I hope she's not on drugs. I hope I didn't catch anything, Lord God. Because I guess some people lose a lot of weight when they're on drugs, which there's no indication that Ashley was on drugs. Another quick tip that I feel like a lot of criminal defense attorneys would give, not that I am one, but just in general life tip that gets broken multiple times by both Antonetta and Janine is do not advertise any characteristics in yourself that might be connected to criminal behavior. For example, to say things like, I'm really sneaky, I'm super secretive, I'm good at hiding stuff, probably not something to advertise to the authorities.
Yeah.
At one point, Antonetta tells officers, I'm a pretty good fighter, to emphasize how she does not have as many injuries as Ashley does because she's a pretty good fighter.
What?
Another advisory would be do not verbalize intent to commit further crimes. But Antonetta tells the officer straight up, it would be bad for her to come back over here. I mean, if you guys want me to call her, I'll call her. You know, I handle the situation, but I'm not just going to go looking for her just to let you guys know. I'm not going to go on a manhunt for her. I don't care. I already handled my business. Do you want anything done to her? Nope. I think she's got enough, you know? Well, she's got to learn to fight. If you're going to cheat on somebody, you got to learn how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, know your side as a mistress. If she comes back here, I will call you guys. And if she doesn't leave, then I'm just going to beat her up again. I'm just letting you guys know.
Okay.
Near the end of the initial conversation with the authorities, Antonetta jokes, I wish you guys could just take me away for the week. I really need a break from this house. And the officer pauses and responds, be careful what you wish for. Ooh. Seriously, be careful what you wish for. Because I know you say you want a weekend away from your family and the house, but when it comes down to it, you will probably have a quick change of heart.
Wow. So this is before Ashley passed away.
Yes.
So everyone is still just investigating as like a little fight.
Yes. It's like a violent altercation, and it seems like all parties could technically be charged, but if it's mutual, it's
hard to...
it seems like most likely at this point, the police, their verbiage and the way that they're responding to the situation is if all parties want to drop it, they'll just drop it.
Yeah.
They're not going to arrest anybody, is the vibe that they're giving.
Right. So they're coming back later after the
Well,
hospital?
after she died.
They come back after the hospital confirms that Ashley is dead.
The same day or?
The same night, yeah. So the fight happened early in the morning and they come back at night. Because now it's
murder.
A big crime. It's a big deal. This is why a lot of people say there is the whole one punch thing. Punching someone anywhere is bad. Punching someone anywhere in the head, you just cannot predict how one punch can literally kill somebody.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's murder. Like you can't say, oh, I didn't know it was going to kill them. Once the authorities come back after Ashley's death, now this is when they go through Daniel's phone and they're trying to really piece together how mutual this alleged altercation was. Was it really that Ashley was coming to meet Daniel and maybe she was trying to fight Antonetta first? Because that's how Antonetta is making it seem from earlier that day. But when they go through Daniel's phone, he is confirming to them that absolutely these are not his text messages that he sent to Ashley.
When did they tell Antonetta?
At night.
Okay, did you see that part? Like when it was...
Yes, that was in the beginning of the episode. She's in the doorway that night and they say she died. And she just goes, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That was not my intention. I'm just going through a really hard time right now. I have bipolar depression.
So I guess the girl went to the hospital and she died.
She died.
She's dead.
Yeah.
But because of that, we have to kind of talk to you guys.
She was so angry. I'm not surprised that she's like not necessarily, she doesn't care about it because at the end of the day, that as far as she's concerned, she's the woman who was sleeping with her man. If I put myself in her fucking shoes, if the mistress of my man is dead, obviously I'm gonna be like, woohoo! The only difference though is I would be like, woohoo, if I have nothing to do with it. But bitch, you have something to do with it. That means that it's your fault. So no, I don't think I get it. Yeah, no, I put myself in her shoes. And if I know that I'm the reason why somebody died, nah, never mind. That would fuck me up. That would actually fuck me up. Girl. Woo!
And get a more formal statement.
Sure, okay.
I could never be responsible for somebody's death.
That was not
Even
my
if...
intention.
Nah.
I've been mentally going through a lot. I have bipolar depression, and I'm just going through a lot right now. And
Daniel is showing the authorities the phone, showing the messages, the text read from Ashley. And this seems like from Ashley and Daniel at this point. Ashley responds, "That's all I have to give," which is me. No more, no less. I don't have it in me to be pretending to be something or someone else. Daniel responds, "Thank you for being you. I can't wait to see you beautiful." Me too. Go to bed, darling. Your ass has been through enough for the day. Even though I don't want to stop talking to you, but you need to relax a bit. The messages stop, and later Antonetta messages Ashley pretending to be Daniel. "Where you at? I need to see you. LOL, I'm in bed. I want you here so bad. Meet me, please. I'm going through it. I got kicked out." Are you serious? All right, let me put on something real quick. All right, I'm outside. Ashley responds, "Okay, I'm about to come out. How long? Right now, I'm grabbing my keys. I'm downstairs." So they're coordinating where in the apartment complex she's walking. And she's responding things like, "Okay, meet me in the back. Okay, we're meeting here." But it's not Daniel meeting Ashley because he's asleep. It's Antonetta and Janine.
This is morning.
This is morning. He was still asleep while they were outside assaulting Ashley. And it wasn't until they came back with Ashley's phone that Ashley is banging on the door. Antonetta is waking Daniel up with Ashley's phone, like, "I have your girlfriend's phone. Haha. She's outside. I just beat her up." Daniel remembers opening the door, being shocked because it was clear that Ashley was quote unquote up. She did not look good. He could tell that she was beaten severely. He closes the door and he said he was in a state of shock. He just turns to Antonetta and starts screaming at her, "What the fuck is wrong with you? It was never that serious, like between you and me, Antonetta." Ashley continues knocking on the door. She's trying to explain, "Listen, I don't care. I just want my phone back. Like, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Give me my phone back." Antonetta throws the phone at the wall. Daniel goes to grab it, opens the door, hands it to Ashley, and he turns around at this point just to, I guess, scream at Antonetta and Janine. And he keeps screaming, "I told you, like, the love interest is gone. I told you all of this. Like, what do you mean? I told you this yesterday when you saw us walking to QT together. So what are we doing here?" At this point, Ashley leaves to go back to her apartment where she lays on the bed to call her fiance to come home because she's not feeling well and she just got randomly jumped. Daniel's in this huge argument with everybody else and the police keep stopping by nonstop. So it's like the whole day they're just all arguing. The worst part of all of this is when the authorities finally find out that Ashley has passed, they take all of their phones. They see the text messages that Antonetta sent from Daniel's phone. But worse than that is they find on Janine's phone footage of the fight.
Yep.
They see Antonetta having Daniel's phone outside the apartment, hiding behind bushes, coordinating, texting Ashley. They're hiding, making sure that Ashley doesn't see them. Otherwise, she could just turn around and walk the other way. Janine asks Antonetta, "What if she sees us and she walks away?" Well, she can't get away because I'm going to run up after her and beat her up. They run towards the back of the building, and when they see Ashley, they come out. Janine is following behind Antonetta, recording, and Antonetta confronts Ashley. "So guess what? That was me." And immediately tackles Ashley to the ground while Janine is egging her on, screaming, "Yeah, side hoe." Antonetta is holding her down on the concrete while punching her in the head. Janine is calling Ashley ugly while Antonetta continues beating her. Ashley calls Antonetta crazy and Janine thinks it's a good thing, like she's trying to hype Antonetta up. Ashley keeps telling her, "Get the f off of me, get the f off of me. You think I'm scared of you?"
Yeah. Yeah. Get the fuck off. This is what we do to side bitches. This is what we do for side bitches. For side bitches.
Antonetta starts punching her head repeatedly, and Ashley keeps telling her to get off, but she won't. She keeps screaming at Ashley, "Do you want to get fucked up? I'm gonna fucking fuck you up."
Say hi to Daniel.
Get off of me.
Say hi to Daniel. Get the You know he said I could come out here and fuck up, right?
Okay, good.
You know that, right? He's in the house with our son.
Okay, wow.
He said I could fuck you up. Yep, this is what we do. If I get mad and he knows I'm leaving, he feels sad. He says, "I'll let you fuck her up." That's what I'm doing. You up.
All right.
While Antonetta is holding her down, the leasing agent drives by, but she's not able to stop them from fighting. She drives off and calls 911, while Antonetta is threatening. "You're his manager, right? I'm gonna get you fired. That's a conflict of interest. You're fucking my N-word while he's on the clock. Fucking my trying to ruin his family, bitch." Antonetta starts swinging her around by her hair, slamming her onto the ground, screaming,
"I will murder you.
All right,
I will murder you. I will murder you. I will murder you. I will murder you. stop. You're so lucky my nails are turned because I was really do worse to you right now. I will do worse to you. I will do worse to you. I will do worse to you. That's why he was trying to protect you, but now he don't care for you to get your ass beat. He let me do this. He let me. You're getting fired. You're getting fired. You're getting fired.
Yeah, you can get off me now. I'm done. I'm done.
Antonetta continues to punch her over and over and then asks, "You want some of this, Janine?" She responds, "Yeah, I can do." And she puts the phone down, or it seems like she's holding the phone so it's pointing towards the sky, because she goes in to kick Ashley in the back multiple times.
You want some of this, Janine? Yeah, I do. Bitch. Go ahead. Bitch.
And Ashley is very small. Antonetta is still on her violent monologue. "You messed with a crazy ass, and he knows I'm crazy. You're looking dumb. Go home." Ashley asks for her phone back. At this point, they take her phone, but Antonetta tells her,
"You want it, you get in trouble for it. Point blank, period." She's following. I don't care. She don't get beat up by both of us. That's ugly. You really up. I do this. He let me come out here and whoop your ass. You should be ashamed of yourself. Come out here in the morning after you work the whole late night. You're fired. Calling your corporate, saying that you're abusing your employees and them and holding it against them. Yep. Calling your corporate office tomorrow.
And the sisters are recording all of it.
yes.
Wow.
While Ashley is hospitalized after this, so they go back to the apartment, Daniel wakes up, gives Ashley her phone back. While she's hospitalized, Daniel is desperately trying to get in contact with her, texting, "Can I see you? The cops are here. You want me to tell them what happened?" And she said, "No, I'm good. Leave me alone. Please talk to me. My face is all fucked up and I can't breathe. Fuck texting. Can you please just talk to me? Can I get you, please? Why was it a whole setup?" He responds, "Can you pick up for me? I don't want to call you and seem like I'm harassing you. Please pick up." She responds, "I don't really want to talk right now. Ashley, can I see you, please? I can't breathe and my heart is skipping a beat. I'm on foot to urgent care. Bye." "No way, please. Your fucking sister kicked me in the back by my heart and chest. I was good till she did that."
Oh.
So a lot of people question why Janine was also charged with murder, and it's likely because of this text message and the footage of her kicking her.
Gosh. She say, "I was good until your sister kicked me from the back."
Yes.
Really?
"Ashley, I really, with all my good intentions, want to see you and check on you. I feel sad and I can't believe your face and body is hurt. Talk to me or let me see you. Fuck, I'm sorry. It hurts to see you like this. Please." She does not respond.
Does she send to hospital?
Janine does not know that the police have the video on her phone, nor does she know that Ashley texted Daniel, her brother, all of this. She doesn't know any of this. Instead, Janine thinks she and the officers are buddy-buddy. She thinks they're friends. She has no clue that her beyond idiotic, strange behavior is going to be the reason she goes viral. At one point, the authorities, I guess in an attempt to build rapport, they asked Janine, "You seem kind of athletic. Did you play sports when you were in school?"
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do I really look athletic?
Yeah, you look athletic. Yeah, you got some shoulders on you.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You don't know if I really care about these shoulders.
Oh, well, I apologize if you are.
They're a little, I know.
They're fine.
It's just she genuinely thinks they're all friends.
Having a blast.
So what happened in the fight? Did Ashley hurt you? Do I see some scratch marks on your neck? Do I have some scratch marks? No. It wasn't jumping. Oh, I see. Will you tell us a little bit about what happened? Like, how did it happen? Oh, it was very vivid. It just happened so fast, you know? Fights are like a blur when it happens typically. But where was Ashley? I know you said earlier that she came looking for your brother. She came because he was moving. He was getting kicked out and she wanted to be a little writer when she knows she's a side chick and she's got a husband at home. Like, girl. She knows she's breaking up a happy home. How did you make contact with her? Through messages, like, you know, we seen her. Where did you guys meet up? She was in our complex. I guess she lives like right near us. Like, I think there's like two sides of the complex. You know, that hill, it goes around and then like it goes up and around. But there's another complex that looks just like the same. So did she just knock on the door at first or you guys just saw her outside? Outside. She didn't knock. She didn't get the chance to. Because like, oh yeah, you got that around. I'm about to be around. So yeah. You know, it wasn't really like, it was just like, yeah, you came to see my You know who it was? Because she got ready to, it's just fighting. It was just fighting. Who is fighting? The girl in Antonetta. The detective is very quick on her feet. She's been the whole Detective Carter is the way that her cadence mirrors Janine and she asks everybody. No. Girl, you didn't get in on it?
Everybody?
No.
Girl, you didn't get on it?
No. Yeah.
Of course you did. I know you did.
Just a little bit.
You got because like you said, that's your homegirl.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me about that. How that happened.
I didn't go crazy though, cause she's small as hell. Like you're enough already. I don't need to be punching her, dragging her. I don't need to do all of that. I'm good. Yeah. I give my little hit in, and then that's it. I'm not going.
Where'd you get it in at?
I don't know. I know I hit her though. Like in the beginning, she got on the floor, and I kind of like dragged her just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And then I stopped. I was just like,
it's hard. The adrenaline's going. You know, you gotta.
Ooh, she dumb. Ooh, she dumb.
They're just fighting.
Ooh, she's so dumb.
Yeah, just a little hit. So I didn't really fight her. That's just crazy.
So how did you get her phone? She had her phone in her hand. I don't know who posts up with their phone in her hand. If I'm about to fight, I'm dropping everything. I'm telling you that right now. And maybe don't tell them that right now.
Yeah.
But it was like on the floor. She was like, grab the phone, and I grabbed it. When she was talking all that while getting beat up, like, how did that make you feel with the stuff that she was saying? I don't care. She was like, I don't get bothered by people who talk like, you really gotta do something to me. But she was talking about your brother, though. Yeah, and I was like, so you weren't mad? I can't be that mad now, come on. She knew what it was, you're gonna talk regardless. It's a fight, what do you expect? It's a fight. I'm just like, I've been in multiple fights. They all talk they bring it, So yeah, I wasn't really getting angry, I was chill. So Daniel was sleeping the whole time. Antonetta woke him up when we knew Ashley was coming. Then he was like, and then we was like, yeah, she's about to get beat the fuck up because now, you're getting kicked out and she thinks it's okay to come and save you. Like, who is she? You haven't even been together for that long. Like, that was weird. So yeah, that's where it really started.
So we knew?
There is some very strange moments in the whole interrogation with the police. While waiting for the interrogation, like I said, she's sitting there listening to music on her AirPod. They took her phone. So she doesn't have her phone, but she's putting in her AirPod and it's still connected to the music I guess she was previously listening to.
Oh, okay.
What? They took away the phone, but the music's still going.
Yes, and she's singing along to her playlist, which I don't know if this is a normal thing, but in this setting, it just feels very dumb. Like, she's singing and then she'll start yawning. Truly no clue how serious
She does not understand what's happening.
Then she starts full on just bopping to the music for 20 minutes straight. She's using finger guns to sing along to Hotline Bling. Yeah.
Bruh.
She's shaking her head from side to side. She's yawning. Later, when they tell her she's going to jail for murder, they have to take photos of her and she starts posing. She's like popping out her hip, almost like, those cheerleader photos that you have in high school. And the detective literally calls her out on it. She's giggling and she's like, are you posing right now? And they're laughing and she's like, okay, let me stop. You're making me nervous.
Wait, so detective is still playing along. The cops are still playing along.
Yes.
They're like, this is the dumbest thing I ever seen, but I'm gonna play along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick picture of your feet. Oh, girl. She's got to.
Even when they take pictures of her back, she says she has bad back knee and she seems embarrassed.
We're just looking for any
I
injuries.
just got bad acne. And
If it's acne, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. If it's acne, it's fine.
This is bad.
I don't see any injury yet.
Which, sure, okay, but you should be more embarrassed about the murder charge. After the detective tells her that she's charged with murder, they leave her alone in the interrogation room and she starts whispering and talking to herself, repeating things like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? She'll randomly start laughing and saying things like, what the fuck? I just can't see myself in jail. Like, this don't seem real.
That's so strange.
Yeah, even when she's being handcuffed, she takes off her bracelets, puts them in the baggie, telling officers that her bracelets were handmade in Africa. And worse, though, is she's being turned around to be handcuffed, and she says, oh my God. In a very bizarre, creepy moment in Janine's interrogation, she looks at the officers and says, "That's crazy. But, like, do you know how she died?"
No, she's dead. I know that shit's crazy. Do you know how she died? Like,
From fighting.
The injuries of her death.
So they had to do an autopsy, but it was a result of her the injury she sustained during the fight.
That shit's crazy.
How does it make you feel?
That shit make me feel like I'm going to hell. That I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
She doesn't want to like face reality. You can see it on her
And
face.
the officers egg her on. Yeah, and she's not a big girl. No, she isn't. That's why I didn't want to fight her. She's too small. I looked at her and I'm just like, how old are you? She told me she was 30 and I'm like, you're really small for your age to be 30. She looked sick, skinny.
Nobody else. Grandma, grandpa.
Oh, actually, oh my gosh. Okay, go to contacts.
Do you want your brother's phone number at all?
Daniel's? Okay.
No.
So they plead guilty. They try to get a plea deal. And the worst part is, before the sentencing, a fellow cellmate of Antonetta and Janine's goes to the police officers and reports that they are scared. Janine and Antonetta are scared at the prospect of getting life in prison for their literal actions, that they are allegedly colluding in jail about pinning the entire thing on the victim's fiance, Ashley's fiance. They're trying to say that after Ashley went home, her fiance found out that she got beaten up by her, I guess, the person she's having an affair with, and he allegedly finished the job, is the new story that they're trying to spin. That he's the one that caused the final harm that killed her. Perhaps he further injured her at home to make sure that she wouldn't make it, or maybe he prolonged her getting medical attention and took a long time to take her to the emergency room. She says they're basically putting this on the victim's husband, that he did something that possibly caused the injuries, and then argue that there was a failure to like give proper medical care in a timely manner. They're going to argue that there were errors that were made that could have saved her life, that it wasn't the fight with the girls that ended her life. It was a lack of adequate care in a certain time, you know? Yeah.
How are they still like be able to talk like this in the prison, right?
They asked her, the inmate that rats them out, to send messages between. That's why she knows all of this. So with that, the girls are sentenced to 20 years in prison because they pled guilty.
Wow. So they both each got 20.
Yeah. The comments read, the police interview with the sister was disturbing. She thought she was being all cute. Both women are despicable, and I'm glad they're being held accountable. When they told Daniel Ashley died, my heart sank. He looked genuinely distraught. Another reads, the sister is truly delusional. She is detached from reality. She's literally talking to the detectives as if she's gossiping at a teenage sleepover.
She is.
Another reads, I think the sister was dropped on her head as a child. She thought she was gossiping with her besties. Another reads, the sister is every lawyer's nightmare, LOL. A clear example of lights are on but nobody's home. Another, Janine needs to be locked up forever. She lacks all sense of normal human behavior. Everything is funny. Murder? I just pulled her hair a little. Followed by giggles.
I don't
The
know
sister's not
about
wired
that.
correctly, and it's very scary. Some people say, I don't understand these types of people. Emotional intelligence is at a negative. Fighting everyone except her, quote, man that could clearly do without her. Kids that they clearly do not value and will never see again. And what the is wrong with the sister? She knows the woman is dead at that point when she's in the interrogation room. Instead of crying and bricks, she's laughing and giggling.
She's not realizing.
Another comment reads, Antonetta killed another woman over a man that will move on when she's in prison. Another points out how Antonetta reacts to hearing that Ashley is dead. I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. Girl, that's something you say when you accidentally bleach a shirt or something. A life was taken. Others point out the fact that she said, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. I'm just going through a lot right now. I have bipolar depression. A comment reads, I have bipolar depression. Girl, so do a lot of people, but you don't see them murdering people out of jealousy.
Exactly.
Another points out what Antonetta said prior to that. She was making my fiance sleep with her. No, your fiance was cheating on you. You beat a woman to death. Another comment reads, she killed that woman over a man that didn't even want her, shaking my head.
Yep.
Antonetta, I wasn't going to kill anybody. Also, Antonetta, in the video recording, I will
gonna
murder you.
Yeah, but that was said on like
Another
the
quote.
emotion, but
She's
still
dead. I'm so sorry about
crazy.
that. I've just been going through a lot. What the But there are some people who defend the girls. Someone comments, I feel bad because it's not like they knew she was gonna pass away from a fight.
Obviously. No, but it's true. I'm
But
pretty
most
sure they
people, I
didn't
think, are
know.
on the path of, quote, you're in prison now, your cheating man is free, your child is without a mother, the other mother is dead. Yeah, you surely thought this one through.
She did not.
Another comment just reads, I feel very sad for the boyfriend of the deceased woman. To find out you're being
Yes.
cheated on the same time you find out your partner passed.
Yes.
And I feel very sad for all the children involved.
Yes. Absolutely.
So with that,
this is
they
devastating.
are both going to serve 20 years for voluntary manslaughter and robbery by force. Their maximum release date is August 2042. They may potentially get out sooner than that. To which one netizen comments, I can't believe they only got 20 years. It was premeditated. They lured her, they beat her and killed her. Premeditated. They should have gotten life. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments.
I'm pretty
Please
sure
be
they didn't
safe,
premeditate
and I will
wanted
see you
to
in the next
kill
one.
her. I don't want to fucking sound like I'm defending the bitch, but I'm pretty sure that they premeditated beating her ass, not killing her. So that's why they got manslaughter instead of like first degree or second degree murder. It was not technically planned for it to end up as murder. It just happened that it ended up on murder. Whew. But still, that is crazy. That is crazy. And part of me does feel weirded by the younger girl because like I don't know, I can just tell that she was just not like she's stupid, dumb, like yeah, she dumb, but it's more than that. She really I don't know if it's compartmentalized or just like she's not she's pushing away the realization basically of reality. She doesn't want to accept reality, and so she's giggling it out and like laughing it out because I feel like deep down she knows damn well that when it actually hits her, it's gonna be real, and so she tries really hard to push that shit away because it's better for it to not be real. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. And 20 years is long. I know that the United States people think that 20 years is not, but for fuck's sake, at the end of the day, technically speaking, prison is supposed to be for rehabilitation. 20 years is actually fucking long. I don't know why people think that it's not. That's a lack of like be for fucking real. 20 years is very long. Hopefully the younger one at least will kind of like understand, because that's a long ass time to be reflecting on your fucking shit. I was about to say mistake, but on your murder. That's a long time. So I hope that she takes all of those years to rehabilitate herself and become a better person, because that's sick. Whew! Emotion be like make people do the fucking wildest shit. Anyway. Anywho, that was fucked up. That was another rotten mango. I think now I'm kind of caught up on like all the videos. Pretty sure. Either way, I'm probably gonna do other reaction, but to other stuff, not just Rotten Mango, but Stephanie Sue, because she has a channel, another channel, two other channel to react to while I do my makeup and get ready for stream. And that's pretty much that. That is pretty much that for this Get Ready With Me makeup reaction video. So thanks for those who were watching with me. Take care, and I'll come back later for more gaming.